got them pretty decently prepared.
Ready? Hold on, real. Chee! Okay. All right. That was all right. That was all right. That was a good one. Let's see if they can do it louder. Chee! All right. Battle of the Titans, an All-American battle. Corvette versus Mustang. Matt Field, your #1 qualifier, got that 95 last night. He reigned supreme, and he's feeling cool, calm, and collected. He's feeling a little yogi, a little namaste right here. He's going to muscle up against Chelsea DeNofa. Chelsea, don't call me a girl, DeNofa, as I've seen him just progress through the years. He's been campaigning his Ford Mustang for a few years with Vaughn Gittin Jr. He is ready to rock. He's got the hip-hop lid. He's ready to drop some fat rhymes and beats up on you. And talking about Matt Field. That's what he's talking about. So here we go. Matt Field. Yeah, this is a good one. These guys, this is probably two of the, biggest smack talkers. I'm just going to put it out there. These guys talk smack, but they say it lovingly. It's, you know what I mean? They both give and receive.
You should be a promoter. That's a good way to hype up a battle.
That's what's up. These are two of the biggest smack talkers in the biz. Matt Field piloting that Falcon Tires Drift Cave Corvette. He's going against the BC Racing Netto Tires Ford Performance Mustang RTR Spec 5D. Field versus DeNofa. Field will lead. DeNofa will give chase as they come on down the pipe. Woo-wee, that's a sneaky initiation coming into that first inside clip. Here comes Matt Field. Scrubs some speed, but allows DeNofa to straighten out. Oh, gains some ground, banging doors. Oh, man. I tell you what, things got a little interesting there. Talking about that smack talking. Rubbing is racing. Ryan, I really want to look at this. You saw the attitude of Matt's vehicle when he went up the hill. It looked like he scrubbed some speed. Chelsea got on his door, backed off, but then he just lunged back into it. So let's take another look at this, another perspective with that United States Air Force instant replay.
Let's get through the replay first, and we'll talk about the momentum zones, one of which is right here. After initiation, the drivers in the chase should know that the lead drivers are going to be slowing down. Once they get to that inside clip, they need to be back on the throttle. Matt Field is on the throttle there as DeNofa transitions with them at the same time. Super close here, keeping the aggression right to Matt Field's door and then surges forward. And this is where things come unglued for Chelsea DeNofa. Let's take a look at Matt Field. He unwinds the angle, and he may have sped up there because of that, and then was a bit too close and had to make that adjustment. So the judges have their work cut out for him there. It looks like Matt Field was all in the right in the lead position. DeNofa quickly gets back on it, tries to make a fight of it, but from this point forward, Matt Field looks like he has a huge advantage. Here it is again. See, he unwinds it, and he surges there.
So do you think it was Chelsea being aggressive? Did Matt have a hiccup? And let's take a look at that smoke line. I think it'll come into play on the replay when we kind of digest both runs. But
we'll take a look at the momentum map, but I think Matt Field is in the right there for the most part. See, the momentum map actually goes all the way to the beginning of outside zone number 2. So Matt Field was slowing in the right place, and he wasn't really slowing dramatically. I think what happened is DeNofa unwound the angle. He sped up and then had to put more angle in it to slow down to avoid a big accident. Here we go.
Here we go. Chelsea DeNofa, Matt Field in that chase position. Chelsea initiates, yanking that handbrake quite a bit. Comes in. You talk about that momentum zone. Good aggressive driving by Chelsea. Look at the angle from DeNofa. Comes into that second outside zone in that keyhole. Look at that absolute sideways positioning of that BC Racing vehicle, going for gold.
Oh my God.
Literally, holy cow, where'd they go? First you see them, now you don't. All-American battle. Yo, the old Houdini. Wow.
That is DeNofa saying, I'm going to do whatever I can to make Matt Field make an error by putting on massive angle but not reducing the momentum through sections of the course where that kind of angle for almost any other driver would be a spin or a massive slow. So this is DeNofa trying to make it tough on Matt Field. He must know that he's at a disadvantage if he's driving like this. He's really trying to make it hard on Matt. Matt makes some adjustments, has to unwind some angle coming up from outside zone number 1 into outside zone number 2. Now he closes the door as they get to this inside clip, transitioning back around. Matt Field through the smoke line. Being aggressive there, trying to get close to DeNofa, but look at the smoke line that DeNofa is putting up. He is driving absolutely bonkers, and then a massive angle through the final inside clip. Incredible bit of driving there by Chelsea DeNofa, trying to take it to Matt Field here in this really tough top 16 battle. Look at that angle through that final inside clip along with the transition. So DeNofa doing everything that he has within his power to give Matt Field a tough time.
Scores are in. Slide him left for Field, right for Denofa. And there it is. That looks like Eggert says Field, as does Ryan Lontaine and Chris Yule. It is unanimous. Matt Field. Lontaine, you got your headset on there. That was unanimous. What's up?
And maintained it everywhere that we asked them to. We always say if you're going to try a reverse entry at initiation, doesn't always work out that well, but he was able to make it to a high degree of angle and stick it all the way through inside clip 1. And he threw it in a very aggressive way at outside zone number 2 as well into the horseshoe up here. Maintained it all the way through again, but Matt Field was right there with him. Why we chose Matt Field? Well, Chelsea straightened in his chase position coming up the hill towards outside zone 1 and 2, and you could see when it gripped up right there, it shot him straight up towards Matt, and then he ended up stalling, straightened up a couple of times there, and fell off in a pretty big way. So unfortunately, Chelsea had that issue that held him back, but incredible run from
That was awesome.
Chelsea on his lead.
Yeah, and he knew he had to kind of like throw it down, just break his wrist if it was an arm wrestling competition in order to get the win, right?
Yeah, he probably was hoping either that he would look amazing, which he did, or he would throw off Matt Field in the chase and he would make a mistake, and then they'd at least get it one more time and Chelsea could have a chance to redeem himself. But fortunately, Matt Field did a good job behind him. Wasn't able to match the angle. I mean, who can in that situation?
He's maxed
in the
out.
chase. Yeah, but did a great job of mimicking as best he could the transitions and the line.
Right on. Thank you, Ryan Lontaine. As we move on to our next battle, you can see the headshots there. Kazuya Taguchi, brand new vehicle, and here he is in top 16. He's going against Justin Pollock, who also had a 95 on his second run, but JTP in that Falcon Tires Ford Mustang going against Kazuya Taguchi in this Toyota 86. Kazuya out front, Pollock in that chase position. All right, Kazuya Taguchi initiating. Justin Pollock mimicking that angle, coming to that first front clip. Kazuya Taguchi. Wow, look at that. Really gripping up the hill into those Gator Rumble strips. Now in that second outside zone. Not as deep as we saw, and we started things off really aggressively. You saw how deep Field and Chelsea went, so you saw that. But look at Pollock. Great composure in that chase position. You saw him really mimicking the angle, giving himself enough room where he kind of wanted to grow on, right? So it gave him room and then would just lunge forward. Great job by JTP.
Well, after a very scary moment yesterday in qualifying, JTP looks like he's on a bit of a tear here. He had experience in mechanical, came back, scored a 95, but he was stuck outside of the top 24. Now here against Kazuya Taguchi, he's trying to do some more work. Taguchi out front, misses that second outside zone. Pollock taking advantage of the tighter line there to gain proximity as they leave the keyhole. Now coming down the hill here, more pressure by Justin Pollock. Backs off for a second, then back in the pocket there. And Kazuya Taguchi doing a great job of his own in the lead position, getting himself in the right places on the course and maxing out that angle as best he can through that final inside clip. So good battle here. This is a much different start than the top 32.
That warranted a stutter. Much good, right? Like, absolutely awesome. I feel like just as the events are opening up and we're tripping over our words because it's exciting, man. It's great to see everybody just back. Again, Kazuya Taguchi, a new vehicle. I know Justin Pollock has been working on this vehicle as well. Here we go. Now JTP, he's going to get that clean air, or slightly clean. Still got some smoke lingering in the air. Kazuya Taguchi's going to chase him down. Let's see this initiation. He likes to go for the backies. Oh, that's pretty. That's pretty. I like it. Let's go, JTP. Kazuya Taguchi, look at him. He throws on the grappling hook. Doesn't mimic the angle, but definitely gets out. So look at Justin Pollock. Gets deeper in that second outside zone. Tightens up to that front clip. Now exiting out of the keyhole. How are they going to handle that? Both of them getting into the dirt. Quickly to that touch and go. And then that final last inside clip. Great job by both of them, Ryan. I would say that, you know, I really liked Kazuya looks really comfortable in that brand new car. I'll tell you that. Seemed that Justin got a little deeper on that second outside zone.
Well, I like this approach from Taguchi because there was a mirroring effect from initiation to the first inside clip. After the first inside clip, he lost a little bit of ground there. He shallowed up just a little bit. JTP was able to get a bit deeper into outside zone number 2. And you can see the fluidity here. The transitions are nice from JTP. Taguchi's putting up a fight. There's no question about it. He had a couple little tiny flubs, and we'll see how the judges take both of those things into account. But we are having some battles on our hand here, Jared, as we take a look one more time through that final turn on board with the FPV. Kazuya Taguchi and Justin Pollock.
All right, what do we got? Do we have a result? Our judges tabulating their scores, putting them in. Pollock and Taguchi. Claims? We got some claims. We got some reviewing going on. Nah. There we go. Slide them left for Pollock, right for Taguchi, and there it is. JTP gets the win. Lontaine, if you would, please throw on your headset. It was unanimous. Your reasoning, again, for me, it was pretty much the keyhole. This is right in front of the judges. You know, if you're going to make a mistake, if you're going to make something sensational, Justin went way deeper on that second outer zone.
That's pretty much what clinched it for us. I think that Kazuki did an amazing job. Taguchi.
It's okay. We're all getting back. We're all coming out of Kazuya Taguchi.
Sage can't breathe right now.
Ryan's losing it.
Taguchi really impressed us. This is his first event in this brand new car, and he did a great job. The only thing was on his lead, he didn't do a great job on outside zone 1, and he definitely missed outside zone 2 by a lot. And JTP did a much better job in that case. Their chases, I think, were pretty similar, but really what put it over was JTP's lead being a much better in the keyhole up here.
I like it. Uchi Wally Wally, Uchi Bang Bang.
What did I say, Kazuki?
I don't know. Yeah, I think you wanted a Pazuki. You wanted a pizza cookie,
yeah.
And then I thought you were rapping. I thought you were doing Uchi Wally Wally, Uchi Bang Bang. But no, and then it went X-rated. Now you're just blushing. So
Sage, we need to get back to Japan. We've forgotten how to pronounce the names now.
Yeah.
We need to get back there.
Let's go.
All right, we're warming up some tires here. The GT Radial variety underneath that of the Royal Purple O'Reilly Auto Parts 2 JZ-powered BMW of Dylan the Dozer Hughes, and they're already on the line. Vaughn Gittin Jr., your defending and 2-time Formula GP champion, RTR, ready to rock. Captain Clutch Kick here, ready to throw down in that Monster Energy Nitto Tire Ford Performance Mustang RTR Spec 5D. The D stands for drift, as it's about to get stinky in a good way, if you know what I mean. As Vaughn Gittin Jr. will lead, Dylan Hughes will give chase on this top 16 battle. We are just a few battles in. If you're just joining us, we got 2 winners already in the grade 8 as the top 16 Royal Purple, the Royal Purple Synthetic Experts official engine oil of Formula Drift. Coming down the pipe. Here we go. Vaughn Gittin Jr. initiates. Look at the angle from Vaughn. Dylan just kind of a slow roller into it, and he is bathing in that Nitto Tire smoke. Here goes Vaughn. First outside zone. Ticking the box. The second outside zone. Woo! Dylan Hughes lunges forward. He takes a shallower line. He compromises that line in order to get that proximity. And now on that touch and go, Vaughn doesn't get all the way in, but both of them do on that last inside clip. Great job by both drivers, but Vaughn just really flexing on him, feeling that momentum from last year. A lot of confidence in his corner.
A bit of a dangerous move there from Dylan Hughes coming down after initiation. He got a little bit held up there, didn't match the angle of Vaughn Gittin Jr., then he gets lost in the smoke here for a second. Luckily, he pulls it out, and incredibly, he's able to surge forward by this inside clip and nearly tap Vaughn Gittin Jr., but Vaughn did some damage out front. Look at the way he filled the outside zone. Look at how close he was on that inside clip. Look how stable he is on the course through this final section, getting to the touch and go and then just tapping that inside clip. So it's a solid lead from Vaughn Gittin Jr. Dylan will need one of those. Yeah. And now that we've seen Dylan's chase, we have something to compare as Vaughn goes to the chase position.
You know what? And knowing Vaughn, when his seasons just came together to win the championship, it's when he didn't beat himself. And I'm not, not cursing the announcer's curse of Vaughn Gittin Jr., but usually when he just comes together, keeps it calm and collected, and doesn't overcook it and burn the dinner, that's when he comes out on top. So Dylan Hughes, he's got the clean air. How's Vaughn Gittin Jr. gonna chase him down? Dylan Hughes initiates, uses all the track, gets out to the dust, and starts that GT Radial burn. Oh, and there it is. Vaughn Gittin Jr. comes in shallow, tightens it up, out to that second outside zone, gets out there, hits it, and quits it. But Vaughn Gittin Jr., look at this. He is sweating him. The chrome nose in the back end of that BMW. Quickly getting out of that keyhole. And look at this. Dylan Hughes bringing it up and around that final front clip. So great execution. Let's break it down here, Mr. Sage.
Well, it is certainly getting wild up here with these guys. Every battle seeming to progress. Dylan Hughes kind of hitting that stride here. Vaughn Gittin Jr., defending champion, is getting the pressure put on him. Let's see if there was enough to swing the judge's decision one way or the other.
One way or the other.
Yeah, you did that, and you also did Come Together. So I was thinking doom doom doodle.
Oh, little Beatles jam. I'm cool
Yeah.
with that. Yeah, of course. Come together. Right now with the score, you and me. Judges quickly asking for a BC Racing side-by-side instant replay. BC Racing, the official suspension of Formula Drift, go for gold. Look at this overhead view. Here it is, coming at you. What do you got, Ryan?
Well, let's take a look at this. Look at the smoke lingering on the right-hand side from the first half of the battle. You can see Dylan is in the lead on the right, Vaughn on the left. Judges here looking for something that would point the needle in one driver's direction or the other. Now, Dylan in his chase did struggle a little bit after the initiation. He fell back. Vaughn, on the right-hand side of your screen, fell back on the latter part of the course. Are those equalizing mistakes? And then you look at the lead runs. That may be part of what the judges are looking at, and they also may be getting a lot more nuance than I'm presenting it. But as they await the results, these two drivers certainly biting those fingernails.
I don't know. What do we got? We got our director here making claims. Or he already saw the outcome. Hey, who's our drone pilots? We got to give them shout outs. Who's our drone pilot this event? Ryan. Here we go. Here's another side by side.
Hold on one sec, Jared. Here
Yeah,
we go.
please.
Yeah, here's the FPV drone. This is Nub. And as we take a look on board, you can see Vaughn Gittin Jr. here in that chase position and Dylan in the chase there. Pretty close on that section of the course. I think the judges are going to be looking at the beginning up to the middle part for Dylan and the end for Vaughn on the second half of the battle.
Ryan, the fans in the building are chanting one more time. Which way do you guys think it's going? Vaughn Gittin Jr., Dylan Hughes, one more time. Vaughn Gittin Jr. gets the win. Vaughn Gittin Jr. gets the win. It is unanimous. The fans were exploding with an OMT. Not the case. Lontaine, throw on your headset there, bud. Talk to me. What do you got? Vaughn Gittin Jr. unanimous.
It came down to Dylan's areas of compromise compared to Gittin's areas of compromise in the chase. It looked like Dylan made more compromises in some key areas outside zone 1 and 2. And he wasn't really following the line that Vaughn was laying down as well. Vaughn did a better job in his chase of mimicking what Dylan was doing throughout the majority of the course without making those compromises. I'm going to stop using the word cheat. You're helping me out.
Yes,
there a
please.
lot. Yep.
Whenever you say cheat, I'm just going to slap you.
And then Vaughn, I think, did a little bit better on his lead as well in a couple of key areas. Dylan did an amazing job, though, in outside zone 2. I have to say that was pretty clean through there. It got really deep. But, look at Dylan's chase through the keyhole, his angle, and his line mimic. He's off quite a bit.
So you would say close on the leads, but in the chase was more apparent.
Yeah, the chase really is what put it over for me.
Copy that.
All right, Vaughn Gittin Jr., Captain Clutch Kick. Ryan Turk from New Hampshire, coming to us from Switzerland. His first time in Formula Drift Top 16. He says his dreams are coming true. Well, Mr. Meyer, you got served a healthy dose of Ryan Turk. See if you get turked here as the Type S underglow lights are on. Here we go. The Type S, the official lighting of Formula Drift. Ryan Turk out front, Meyer out back. Ryan Turk initiates that come out. Toyota Racing Toyota Corolla hatchback. Big angle from him. Whoa, buddy. Looks more rally car than drift car. Overcooks it. Ryan Turk goes wild on initiation. Dips out to that second outer zone as Eve Meyer. Wow, look at this. Eve Meyer could have an advantage here, Ryan, because right on initiation, Ryan overcooked it. You could see the little brown cloud being kicked up, not a sign of a good time.
It's going to be whether or not Turk had an unchaseable lead. That's what the judges are going to be looking at here. Even after so many years as a veteran, Ryan Turk does overcook it into that first inside clip, and then he has to wrap it back around. Now, he unwinds the angle in a very interesting way here. So he kind of kicks it back. Now he's got angle, and then right there he straightens it out and almost kind of has to reinitiate. I don't think on that alone they would give it an incomplete. I think they would give it an incomplete on the fact that it really disrupted the chase driver's opportunity for chasing between inside clip number 1 and the area where we have the downhill touch and go. So we'll see. I mean, judges, can we confirm is that an incomplete, or is that still being debated? They're going to keep it
They're
closed.
keeping it tight.
All right, that's fine.
Seal the envelope, baby.
All right, that's fine.
Well, Ryan Turk, that's his back bumper there. So, and I think that's smart, right? I mean, just sealing your lips.
I mean, it's definitely smart in terms of this. Now the spotters don't know.
Right.
And so if you don't know, that means you really do have to go 100%.
Got it. Yeah. It's
if you're Eves.
Right. Yeah. I mean, Yves Meyer, I was saying that you're being dealt a healthy dose of Ryan Turk, but look, and I talked about that earlier with Von Gittin Jr. He's had some wobbles there, and that's usually when you get these vets that are very familiar with this track, they overthink it, right? And I do know that Ryan Turk, during that very short break, he was thrashing on his car. I went down to the pits, and I talked to his wife, Shannon, and she says, Ryan's up there. He's trying to change the setup. He might be – so – and we know that these guys get really creative as far as setups. And last night, seeing that qualifying, seeing how the car, how it handles out here when the weather changes.
Yeah, and just taking a look here at the momentum map one more time, you see those two distinct areas, and they're long. And if you're a fan, you've been watching this for 1 minute or 10 years, you understand that after initiation, there's a big decrease in momentum there on that inside clip.
Yeah.
Not timing that appropriately is where problems come into play. Either too slow, and you pinch off the driver, you don't have the momentum moving out. Too fast, you go in the kitty litter. Too fast, you really, really go in the kitty litter, and it's over.
And you go in the grass and yard sale.
Here we go.
All right, here we go. Yves Meyer now out front. He gets a clean air. Look at Ryan Turk all over him as he is pushing around the track as he transitions now coming up the hill into that first outside zone. Ryan Turk banging doors wheel to wheel. In that second outside zone now, tightening up to that clip in the keyhole. Gotta love Yves. His tenacity. Oh, Ryan Turk goes on the dirt. That is not where you want to go. And Yves Meyer, you know what? He didn't get handed this. He absolutely put it down. Absolutely great execution there by Yves Meyer from Switzerland. Could be taking out Ryan Turk, an absolute legend, Ryan.
Yeah, unbelievable turn of events here, Jared, as we take a look at Ryan Turk. You can tell by the furiosity in his driving that he is at least assuming at bare minimum that he's at a deficit here. Tapping Yves Meyer going up the hill, tapping him again. Yves holding it together pretty well here and being able to just kind of be stable around the track and not worry about that crazy vehicle behind him, really trying to keep the pressure on and almost take him out, because Ryan knows that he has to be aggressive. He's willing to get right up on the back bumper. He's willing to make some love taps. And a great shot here from the FPV drone, seeing the left front wheel of Ryan Turk tapping Yves Meyer. But you can tell the fast-paced nature of this from Ryan Turk indicates to me that he feels like he's at a disadvantage. He's got to do whatever he can to turn the tide.
I loved how Yves kept his composure. And speaking of composure, he composed himself a grade 8 berth. Yves Meyer takes out Ryan Turk in that gum out. Toyota Racing Corolla hatchback. Yves Meyer moves on. The Drift Force is strong with this one. Lorette, what's going on, girl?
Hey, in the off-season, the RTR team rebuilt the engine, had a complete teardown. Von Gittin Jr. said, don't mess with perfection, but Von, were you looking for refinement in the car?
Yeah, we, the engine teardown, that's just preventive maintenance. This Ford Performance motor is just super reliable. Get apart and get it ready for another year battle. We made a few changes on the car to help it drive a little bit better, and we're learning tonight that it slowed us down a little bit compared to last year. We're always the fastest at this track, and we've had to do a couple things to the car between top 32 and now to get to where we are. And feeling really good. Just had a battle with Dylan Hughes, and I can't say enough good things about Dylan. He's been coming up. He's a hard fighter. Comes from motocross. I relate. It's been him, and we battle. He really pushed me hard, so he should be proud. But I'm pumped to be moving on to grade 8. And hope you all having fun, Atlanta.
Von Gittin Jr., thank you so much, Jared.
Thank you so much, Lorette Nickel. And Von Gittin Jr., he'll be going against now this FD, first time comer in the top 16, Yves Meyer. Here we go, Frederick Osbo, Jeff Jones. What do we got? Osbo and Jones. Osbo with that Rockstar Toyota Supra, a nasty initiation there. Really well done. Jeff Jones taking that more straight line approach, but very fluid. Gotta love this. As Osbo comes now into the keyhole, into that second outside zone. Jeff Jones right there. Jeff Jones could not be shaken. Mr. 818 worldwide, bringing it to the former champ of Osbo. Look at that, Ryan. Jeff Jones impresses me every time he goes around. Love it.
Another great start to a battle here. Frederick Osbo, silky smooth, really nothing wrong with that lead run, but you will never see Jeff Jones get pushed over by anybody, even a champion in Frederick Osbo. He does lose a little bit of ground on initiation. The angle there from Frederick Osbo was really good and deep, and he used very minimal e-brake. But here's where Jones starts making his mark. He's able to get right up on the door of Frederick Osbo after outside zone number 2 and into that inside clip. And as he moves back around here, he's still in the fight, keeping the pressure on Osbo. But Osbo, with that incredible lead, has also made it tough on Jones. They're going to have to switch things up and see who has the better overall performance in their lead in the chase runs.
All right. All right. Jeff Jones calling 5. We are hearing from the race official, Pat, saying Jeff Jones is calling a competition timeout. So Jeff Jones calls his competition timeout. That is a 5-minute allotment. Once he gets his car back to the hot pits, he gets hands on the car. We'll see if his car is up and running. I mean, didn't look like anything was wrong. He was really giving it to Frederick Osbo. And we know Osbo is one of the best chase cars in the business. And Ryan, you said it perfectly, just about getting more familiar with his vehicle. So NGK timeout. In addition to providing spark plugs for domestic and import vehicles, NGK produces spark plugs for motorcycles, power sports, marine, and outdoor power equipment. NGK also offers complementary ignition products, including ignition coils, resistor caps, spark plug wires, and high-performance cables. For reliable performance, trust NGK, the ignition specialist. Visit ngksparkplugs.com to learn how NGK is redefining the category with high ignitability technology through its ruthenium HX spark plugs. All right, so Jeff Jones calls that competition time out. Also, the lights are going, or the sun is setting, but the lights are turning on because Type S, I don't know if you're seeing the underglow underneath every single one of the cars, the LED around the track. Type S just has their Pro Series LED kits now available at types.com. Use code FDATL10 for 10% off site-wide. Promotion ends May 24th, max 1 per customer. So again, types.com, FDATL for 10% off. Want more power? Need better reliability? Hit up BC for the good stuff. Cams, cranks, rods, stroker kits. I mean, you know the name. Brian Crower has your high-performance needs covered, and for a limited time, get 10% off. Go to runbc.com using promo code Let's Go Racing. So if you need some parts, cams, cranks, rods, stroker kits, you know where to go. BrianCrower.com and runbc.com. All right, Lorette Nickel just checked in with Jeff. Lorette, what's up?
Thank you, Jared. Jeff told me that he one cylinder, so he's wiring he can follow, but he's really about his lead run. So the guy's working right now, again, on one cylinder, and team working hard to get it back together.
Bummer. Thank you so much for the update. So down a cylinder, 7 cylinders.
Wouldn't have noticed.
Wouldn't have noticed at all, dude. I mean, that was really, really well done, and that's what Jeff is all about. Tenacity, just really getting after it. It's not about he's got a lot of fight in him, right? So Dean Carney, Brandon Sorensen. Look at this, the baby-faced assassin here, Brandon Sorensen going against Dean Carney. He is out for blood. He looks like carnage. He looks like a hooligan. He's ready to throw down. I love Dean. Spent a lot of time with him over the last couple of years, and just giving out Vipers and just having a lot of fun. And I really like his spirit and his tenacity. So the Oracle Lighting Dodge Viper. He is ready to throw down against this 212 Performance BMW of Brandon Sorensen. Brandon, again, the youngest driver ever to qualify in Formula Drift competition. Brandon Sorensen out front. Dean Carnage Carney in the chase position. Coming down the hill as the Oracle lights are on the back bumper of that BMW. Look at that nasty flick by Dean Carney. Oh, Brandon going off. Wow, was that just crazy understeer? Did something happen? I mean, Brandon absolutely shot off. There was no contact. So that means that there will be a massive deficit that unfortunately Brandon will have.
Yeah, if I had to speculate there, big, powerful 12-cylinder Viper behind me. I need to go fast.
10-cylinder.
10-cylinder. I need to go super fast and just kind of overcook it into the first corner. Understeer a little bit, and then basically pretty much couldn't get out of that.
Yeah.
So let's take a look at it again. We see a lot of this here, drivers trying to figure out the best way to approach. And then I think before he was transitioning, or after he was transitioning from that inside clip, I think he kind of knew that he had cooked it here. Because up until this point, a little bit before there, he could have been okay.
Yeah, it was just sliding towards the kitty litter, and then he just straightened out. I mean, he was just coming in way too hot. It didn't grip up. It didn't have like the side bite, that we saw previously. And he looked good in the 32. Talking about Brandon Sorensen, he went against Trenton Beecham, so it wasn't just a pushover battle. He definitely earned it. So we got 2 minutes here for Jones.
Oh, come on, baby.
Let's go, Atlanta. The clock is ticking. So,
You see the clock in the background there. What does it say? 2:06.4.
Yeah, you got Kevin back there. Big Kev. Yep, 2 minutes right there. So let's alternate the positions here for Carney and Sorensen. You can see Osbo. He's rip-roaring, ready to go. He's on deck. He's in the batting circle. We're officially halfway through the top 16. On the left side of the bracket, Matt Field against JTP, Von Gittin Jr. versus Eve Meyer. And now, who's moving on? Carney and Sorensen. If Carney keeps it on the road, he will advance into the Great Eights. Wow, oh my goodness.
Another one.
Another one.
Now this one at first pass looks a little bit more interesting because there was contact there, at least from what I saw in terms of the movement of the vehicles. There was a big, long e-brake pull from Dean around that inside clip. Now remember, the decel zone goes all the way to the inside clip, and you need to be back on throttle there, the momentum zone. There are often times when too much decelling, too much downside in momentum is a problem.
He just wrapped it right around the pole.
But I think Dean is not doing that. I think he did have a long e-brake pull. He let it off for a second, but he's getting back on throttle by the inside clip. Look at the right rear. E-brake on throttle, e-brake on throttle, and then tap.
Right.
So Sorensen may have just been closing a little bit too aggressively there. That's my read on it, just looking at it in real time right now, a couple replays, but the judges may think differently.
Perspective, man. All the cameras in the world, and people be like, nah, dude, that's not how I saw it.
Interpretation.
Oh, my gosh. Serena, right? Georgia. Right?
Yeah.
Absolutely beautiful day here and weekend. And absolutely,
this has been the best.
Some beautiful people out here. Just everybody has been so gracious and I think empathetic towards just everybody.
Yeah, there's also been a little bit of vibe like, we doing this?
Right.
Is it cool?
Are we
It's all right.
Like everybody's looking at their shoulders, right? All right, the judges want another look at it.
So let's take a look at Sorensen. Let's focus on Sorensen a little bit more this time. Kind of a straight line approach following Dean. You can see he's also e-braking along with Dean. I think Dean is kind of okay here after watching it for the third time. It looks like he did e-brake pull for a long period of time. Then he gets off, a little bit of an e-brake again, right at inside clip number 1.
Okay, here's a different angle.
And then back on throttle. Now we'll look at Dean's right rear. The e-brake, e-brake, e-brake. He's going to let it off. He's going to unwind it right about there. And I think he does another little tap right there. And then he's back on throttle. And it looks like
Brandon
Sorensen was just coming in. I mean, I wouldn't fault Sorensen for that. Like, oh, you did a bad job.
No.
It's just this is a crazy entry here. And you really need to have kind of a fine-tooth comb approach with each competitor, because the differences in initiation, whether it's an Osbo using one side of the course going to the next,
right,
straight line approach, long e-brake pull, like there's just so many things that you have to adjust to because we don't constrain the drivers on their initiation approach.
And you got to think how much track time Dean has had here at Road Atlanta compared to Brandon. I mean, he's got proper angle, and Brandon just
He was just
coming in hot.
He was just starting to get on throttle. And I could see the judges saying maybe Dean is getting on throttle a little bit late. You don't see the apparent smoke until after the inside clip, but his wheels were definitely moving. And I think you could probably say he was getting on throttle there. But, yeah, this is a tough one.
Oh, boy. We got Nick Fosekis. He's texting me some things right now. Our director's making claims right now. What do we got, Kemp? Okay. All right, Nick Fosekis on the building, tuning in, watching. Hashtag FDATL at Formula D on IG. A lot of info just streaming in, coming in. Dean Carney, Brandon Sorensen. Man, that sun drops. It gets brisk, and I really think that's going to play another role as far as a variable for these drivers. And Dean, he was notably one that said, I've been driving on the same tires for 10 years, and now I got to change them? You know, like.
That was pretty good. You went halfway on that.
Yeah, I didn't go full on.
Yeah.
I didn't go full on. Yeah.
Yes, this is a tough one, Jared. I mean, I think, the judges are now ready to speak to us, so let's go ahead and open up their mics and see what they have to say.
Yeah, this is a really tough one, guys. It comes down to our momentum map, and this year we're pretty lucky that we actually made it on an actual aerial shot of this track. The momentum map ends right at inside clip number 1, and we had to watch over and over again to see when Dean pulled that handbrake the second time, and it looks like, to me personally, it was before inside clip 1, and he was back on throttle at the clip. We say the absolute latest point in time you can get back on throttle is at the inside clip, and it looks like he was just back on throttle, and Sorensen got on throttle and kind of got into him. So it depends how the other judges are going to look at it. We analyzed it independently while we talked about it. I think we have different opinions on what occurred, but we'll see how they put their votes in. So there are a few different ways that can go. Sorensen got an incomplete in his lead by going off the track there, and now it's down to, is this Dean's fault, Sorensen's fault, or shared fault on this one? And that determination will determine how we go forward from here.
Well, it does look like 2 out of the 3 of you are decided. We just got the last judge's
survey
vote, so here we go.
Yeah.
So Dean Carney, there it is. So Dean Carney gets the win, and it was not unanimous. So Brian Egger and Ryan Lontaine say Dean Carney. So elaborate, if you will. Chris went against the grain here and said one more time.
Yeah, he believed that second handbrake pull was the one that did it for Dean, that made him.
So he
that
put
fall.
up a roadblock.
Basically, yeah.
That's Chris's perspective.
And I'm kind of with that. This was a close one.
It is a close one.
I could totally see it going both ways.
Yeah, and unfortunately, and unfortunately, Brandon made that mistake on the first run. But hold your head up high, man. I mean, just for again, Formula Drift rookie coming into pro,
top
talent,
16
years
event.
old. Like, yeah. Come on.
It's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Hats off to Brandon Sorensen and the Sorensen Motorsports team, 212 Performance. But Dean Carney, we'll move on. Ryan, absolutely amazing event so far. And we are already more than halfway through the top 16. Jeff Jones made it. Look at that. Jones, the relentless one, 818, is in the building. So now, who is Dean Carney going to be going against? Will it be the Rockstar Toyota Supra Frederick Osbo or the 818 Edelbrock Nissan Z of Jeff Jones? All right, so Carnage moves on. All right, so we have 5 vehicles already in. As I said, Field versus JTP, Gittin versus Eve Meyer. And this was a really good run here with Osbo out front. He saw Jones. Ryan, walk us through it.
Yeah, Osbo, silky smooth. Look at that little tap right there by Jones. Super aggressive by Jones, keeping Osbo within relative distance to himself. That's what you want to see. You want to see that aggressive driving. But Osbo, as he is known for, laying down the gauntlet on the lead run and making it a really uphill battle for Jeff Jones here, who's got to focus so much on that lead run and try to get as close to what Osbo did. And he is certainly capable of that. He had a good day yesterday, but Osbo is also going to be in a position where he's going to want to stay aggressive to Jeff Jones.
Oh, man, people around the world watching. Jeff Jones, his wife in the building. Osbo, don't know where Hunter's at, but here we go. Jeff Jones leading. Frederick Osbo giving chase. Jeff Jones initiating into that first front clip. And look at that transition.
Wow.
Well done. Look at Osbo just nicking that course marker. Jeff Jones swinging for the fences. Fills that second outside zone into that second front clip outside of the keyhole. Oh, Jeff Jones shot it outside wide. Then tries to tighten it up there on that touch and go. And then Jeff Jones across that front clip. Man, what do you think? Riley Ongpin, JP Ongpin, you guys are watching at home. Riley, shout out to you. How's it going, homeboy? Ryan, what'd you think of that run?
It does not get much closer in terms of proximity than Osbo to Jones from initiation to outside zone number 2. And watch the transitions here. Boom, snaps it right there. He's in the pocket, super close, charging up right up to Jeff Jones. May even had a little tire rub there. And again, getting right in the pocket here into that second outside zone. Jones fills it. Osbo takes a tighter line, so that was one of the little sacrifices or compromises. But then he goes a little bit wide. He has to work his way back to the touch and go. He goes a little bit late there. Osbo adjusts as well. And another great battle between these two veterans of the sport. Osbo really keeping the pressure on all the way up the hill, making that tiny adjustment in outside zone 2 to take that tighter line. Jones kind of tricks him a little bit, goes wide out the horseshoe, and Osbo has to quickly react to that. And we finish things up with now the judges taking a look at both runs. So Jeff Jones, again, continuing to impress us, and Frederick Osbo on a tear so far here in 2021 from qualifying into his battles here. We will find out if Frederick Osbo is going to move forward or if it's going to be Jeff Jones. But before that, let's take a look at a side-by-side and see if we can learn any more truth here between Osbo and Jeff Jones.
So the side-by-side, I think, is going to be the real indicator, because we had, we had some time in between. So now I think this is really going to be the true indicator. I am absolutely just impressed. Oh, wow. Yo.
Is that a problem?
Got that stance laugh on that back right. All right, here is the side-by-side, Ryan. The BC Racing, go for gold.
Yeah, you can see Osbo's initiation a little bit different than Jones's. Osbo, big angle there from the onset. He's been impressing with that initiation, but Jones not letting him get away. Osbo a bit tighter, makes a little bit of an adjustment there. Good job by both guys in that second outside zone. Jones super tight on Osbo at inside clip 1. This is where Osbo takes advantage of Jones shooting wide, but then Jones is able to push out ahead again. So good battle here. Nothing left on the track between these two guys. I don't remember it looking like that.
No, I don't know how that happened. Is he on airbags? I know he's not. All right, so here we go. Slide him left for Osbo, right for Jones, and we got Jeff Jones getting the win. Is that correct? Jeff Jones getting the win. So Jeff Jones takes down Frederick Osbo. Look at this, Lontaine. That was unanimous. Look at Jones. So Lontaine going to turn on the mic. Want to make sure?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Okay.
All right. So looking at what happened with Jeff Jones, did a great job in his lead run. You could see Osbo, maybe it happened around outside zone number 1. We're not sure where exactly, but you could definitely see his car was affected by something. He had a couple of corrections coming up to outside zone 1. The car straightened up a bit, and it really happened leaving the keyhole here, going downhill. You can see his car, I think he straightened up before his transition going to inside clip number 3 before the finish line. That definitely affected his car. We don't know what happened exactly, but like you said, you could see it at the top of the hill there. The right rear, something was broken. Jeff Jones just did a better job in his chase too. He was mimicking Osbo's line. Really good proximity. So Jeff Jones did a great job on his own, but he was given a little bit of a gift there by having Osbo's, whatever that was, suspension brake in the right rear.
He might have hit the rumble strip or something.
Yeah, but
that was his back left.
It was his right rear that
back
was broken.
right.
Yeah, so we don't know exactly what would have affected it. Maybe it was something from previous, that stressed a suspension arm or something, but good job for Jeff Jones getting through.
Here we go. We're back to the action. Odie Bakshies going against that of Travis Reeder. Whoa, well, look at that. Reeder jumps into formation. Absolutely frazzled by that. Ooh! Reeder overcooks it now. Again, Ryan, this seems like a different Odie Bakshies in 2021. Travis Reeder debuting this new car. Odie Bakshies loud and proud, just nasty with it. Look at that. Odie Bakshies just seems absolutely possessed. And you pointed it out early, Ryan.
Yeah, so important, Jared, to get a good start from that first inside clip, and Odie Bakshies was able to do that pretty consistently here. He rolls into it, nice smooth initiation, nothing overly aggressive. Reeder's coming up super hot. He drops the 2 right tires and onto the grass there and really comes unstuck for a second. Odie, meanwhile, is maintaining a really good line out front. He's consistent. He went a little bit wide on that inside clip, which allowed Reeder to catch up. But we are seeing that those mistakes, those little tiny mistakes that are made, it could be a millimeter here or there on that approach to the end. And it looks like Reeder might be broken.
Yeah, he is calling a competition timeout, actually. So
you see how the car's moving around.
Oh, yeah. Weeble wobble.
Wow, yeah, so he is calling a competition timeout now. Let's see if we can get one more look at it. But it looks like on the approach, Reeder just got himself into a little bit of trouble behind Odie. And we've seen that drivers just going a little bit too hard in the chase position, trying to anticipate where that lead driver is going to go. I mean, this would be a lot easier if we told everybody how to do a straight line entry e-brake. It would be super predictable, right?
Yeah.
But we would lose a lot of the passion and the fun of these drivers.
That's the X factor.
Yeah, of the way that they want to initiate. And it also makes, I think, the spotter's job that much more important, right? Let's do some scouting reports on how Odie's initiating, how Osbo's initiating, how Reeder's initiating.
Right.
And that becomes part of the game. So it will be a competition timeout for Travis Reeder. Jeff Jones, obviously a big celebration right now, who is hanging out with Lorette. Lorette?
Guys,
Got it fixed.
look at the smile on this man's face. He was cylinder. He got it fixed. Jeff Jones, the team got it fixed, took down a Titan in Osbo.
Yes. Oh, man. Taking Osbo down to get it 8 is always the best 8. And right now, the rest of you guys better get your game ready because I'm coming for you. If I get past Osbo, the rest of you are cake, bro. I'm excited. We're going to send this. Jackson's got the tools ready for the supercharger. We're pulling that sucker off tonight. We're sending it, bro. Sending it.
Jared, back to you.
Yo, it's electric. It's absolutely electric. Love Jeff Jones. There's Greg giving a little hug there. And, he says, anybody else? Anybody want some of this? Let's go. So, love it. Congratulations, Jeff Jones. You're going to meet Dean Carnage Carney in the next battle. And, Ryan.
Jared, here it is. We pulled it back up to see if we could get a greater look. There was one little straightening aspect from Frederick Osbo. Let's see if we can identify where the broken part may have played a role in Osbo here, straightening and really giving this win here to Jeff Jones, who deservedly got it because he really challenged Osbo. But Ryan, the straightening was the up the hill part. That was the big one. All right, so he was saying we think from that point forward he may have had that broken right rear, and we noticed that when we were sitting at the start-finish line. But nonetheless, congratulations to Jeff Jones, and his post-event or post-battle interviews are always the best.
They are probably some of the best. And look at that. We are 3/4 way done with top 16. Jeff Jones, Dean Carney. Next up, we have that the second half of that battle. Odie Bakshi's Travis Reeder. He called that competition timeout. So he called the TO, the NGK competition timeout. As we are in the Royal Purple Top 16, Royal Purple, the synthetic experts, the official engine oil of Formula Drift. Here's another look of Reeder and Odie. And Odie making it look easy. Gets to about the half point of that second outside zone. Wraps it around. Just pulls strongly out of the keyhole. And Reeder just seems a little bit frazzled, a little scrambled just from the jump on that first inside clip. So here's Odie on initiation. Goes across the nose, throws it in. You see Reeder goes off, and there's that right, that left. So his right got into the kitty litter, but he does pull it out in that Link Engine Management BMW. Hey, there we go.
Yeah, really
Nice
tricky situation there. Yeah, so tough, especially that smoke line plays such a role in that area as well.
Yep, not a full send. You got to do baby send. Little baby send. All right, when we come back, we have 2 more battles left in top 16. We won't find out until who's going to win here at Atlanta. The one, the only Road Atlanta playing host to welcome to the Red Boy in the flannel. No yawning, bro. No yawning, dog. Oh, man. Yeah, we got some. No yawning in the yellow hoodie either. You in the yellow hoodie and the black hat. I see you yawning, bro. There's no yawning in drifting. You guys having fun? Make some noise, Atlanta. That's what's up. Thank you, guys and gals. Look at this, man. Absolutely. Oh, anybody going to any other future Formula Drift rounds? Anybody going to any other Formula Drift rounds? Join us out at E-Town.
Come on down to Florida.
Come on down to Florida. Yeah, in 2 weeks. Come on down to Florida. I know dudes that flew in this morning at 2 a.m. from Florida. The Taxi Garage boys. They flew $79. They got tickets last night. Flew out this morning. $79 round trip.
That's what they would say is keeping it real.
Yeah, that is the realest as they come. Here we go. Next up, here he is. A lot of anticipation, but Castro is no pushover. Jonathan Castro, Adam LZ. Jonathan Castro here in that Toyota 86. He looked absolutely feverish going against Josh Reynolds. Adam LZ had a little bit of help there from Dan Burkett. Adam LZ doesn't look, the car doesn't look completely settled. He looks nervous, for lack of a better term. Like, it just seems anxious a little bit. What do you think?
Who wouldn't be? You know, I mean, this is a high pressure situation. Doesn't matter if it's qualifying. This is one of the most marquee venues. One of the most marquee venues in the history of the sport.
Yep.
And one of the toughest.
Yep.
For sure. So I think all the drivers are a little bit nervous. You could at least make the argument that the beginning of top 32 expressed that in a certain kind of way.
Most definitely. Most definitely. So Castro whips it back around. The reason? Jump the light. Nice. This guy. Great sign. Okay, you want me to retire? Okay, I'll retire. No big deal. I just saw that sign. Solid. All right, you come up here and announce. Let's see how you sound. You won't. All right, here we go. Back to the action. Jonathan Castro, Adam LZ. Jonathan Castro will lead. LZ give a chase. We got a clean start. Castro comes in across the nose of LZ's S15. Down to that front clip. Oh, LZ, great composure there. No nervousness whatsoever as Castro now comes in that first outside zone and the second in the keyhole. Both of them filling that second outside zone. Oh man, LZ being absolutely soaked in smoke, but still, so from whatever happened in 32 to now here in 16, you know what? I said he was nervous, not whatsoever. No signs of nervousness now, Ryan.
Good battle here.
Yep.
And, you know, as the chase driver, you're really trying to make a prediction and then make those adjustments on what the lead driver is doing. Castro getting on the throttle well before that first inside clip. Good adjustments there by LZ. We saw the clipping cone kind of flying around a little bit. LZ surging as Castro goes deep into that zone. Good move by LZ to follow the line. You can see he went out there to that second outside zone with Jonathan Castro. Big angle by Castro right before that transition coming down the hill. Nice job on the touch and go. LZ back in it here and driving blind through the smoke line and through the finish line there. So great first half of the battle between Jonathan Castro and Adam LZ.
Man, you gotta love the boys at Lean Customs. They're making pins for all the racers and all the Formula Drift 2021 vehicles. So check them out at Lean Customs Pins, the custom pins, L-E-E-N. Absolutely legend dudes. Lean Customs, check them out, L-E-E-N Customs. All right, let's switch it up now. Adam LZ will lead, Castro will give chase. You can see the lights just barely through the smoke. Yeah, it's smoked out. Through that start chicane, no cones were hit, and there it is. Quite a better view with that long camera. And now Adam LZ into that first front. Massive angle there, running a backy into that front clip. Castro gets thrown offline. LZ with the S15 into that second outside zone. Castro taking a bit of a shallower line. Adam LZ showing you why he's 2020 Rookie of the Year. And one more clip, nasty snap by LZ.
A little more comfortable.
Woo! Yeah, a lot more comfortable. And I think the fans would agree. Even as fans, I think it looked great. Really good run there by Adam LZ. I think Castro might have gotten shocked on that initiation.
Some real points of differentiation, right? You have big angle initiation through that first inside clip, back on throttle, and then aggressively moves up the hill here, getting to that outside zone 1 and 2. And you can see he was on throttle right there at the beginning of outside zone 2. Castro struggled a little bit coming up the hill with LZ. Now he's starting to close the door a little bit, but LZ throws big angle through the touch and go, and then a nasty flick back around, which he throws right at that angle, holds it through the finish line. And see right here, he could have totally flubbed that.
Right.
And we saw that with the Denofa battle, where big angle can be a very risky maneuver, but LZ was able to pull it off pretty well there. And then he had some other strong points throughout this run, especially things like this. Coming down the touch and go, snapping it back around, super fast through that final inside clip. And taking a look at the overhead, we'll get even a better perspective. Nice fluid transitions by Adam LZ. You can see a little bit of a reduction. See how he kind of twists on the axis there, but snaps it right to angle, holds it, and maintains momentum. So great job by LZ in the lead position. Castro, a great lead of his own. An awesome battle here for the judges to digest.
Yeah, this was to be the final battle of top 16, but not the case because we will have to go back to Odie and Reader with that competition timeout.
Look at this. Look at this. How that happened.
That was fun. Oh, Adam LZ's in the chat on YouTube.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, that was solid, dude.
Yeah, just drifting and chatting.
Just drifting and chatting, living the dream. Great job, Adam. Really, really well done. Great run by Castro. All right, let's shoot some more holes in it. Both had, again, great lead runs. I think it's really going to come down to the chase again, Ryan, as they were talking about earlier.
Well, we got the ever popular BC Racing side-by-side requested and coming up. I'm going to focus my cognitive capacity on the chase runs here.
Okay. We got that long shot, so this is where it gets interesting.
Castro on the right in the chase, and LZ on the left. LZ a little bit tighter on the chase coming up the hill. Castro surging, keeping it close on the right-hand side of your picture. LZ, big angle in the lead run. Castro kind of matching it, then having to back off. LZ looking close through the touch and go in his chase run and surging towards Castro on the finish line. Man, these guys are laying it down.
All right. So it looks like Eggert says Adam LZ. Ryan Lund, Adam LZ gets the win. LZ unanimously gets the win. We'll get Lantain with his headphones here. We'll get his ear cups on. And Ryan Lantain, hopefully you're on. What's up? Yes.
Good. Yeah, Adam just did a better job overall. Did a better job of mimicking what Castro was doing during his lead run. He was mimicking the line, and he didn't really make any compromises throughout the run. Unfortunately, Castro in his chase was not mimicking the line as well, especially coming up the hill towards outside zone 1. He was quite a bit inside, and Castro did drop a few tires, which we see as compromises in the chase position, kind of cutting the course a little bit, trying to maintain that proximity. So that's what kind of did Castro in. I think it was 1 or maybe even potentially 2 tires at inside clip 3 just before going to the finish line. So had Castro kept it a little bit cleaner, kept it on the track and mimicked the line, maybe it would have been a little bit tighter.
Right on. Thank you for the insight there. Yeah, great effort by Castro. Really liked what LZ did, and he is deserving of being in the Great 8. I know he's got a lot of fans watching, and I know Castro does as well. So here we go. Odie Bakshish gets a run here, minus Travis Reader. Unfortunately, he could not make it to the line. So Odie Bakshish gets the win here in Falcon Tires S15. All right, so here it is. We have our Great 8. Our Great 8 is been shaped. And here is how it lays out here as, man, just an absolutely beautiful sight in more ways than one. Odie Bakshish advances on. Here is your bracket. Matt Field versus Justin Pollock. That's an all-Falcon battle. 1 Corvette, 1 Mustang. Vaughn Ginn Jr., another Mustang, going against, first time ever, not only top 16, and now in the Great 8. The Drift Force driver, the BMW Yves Meyer from Switzerland. Jeff Jones defeats Frederick Osbo and moves into the Great 8. Dean Carnage Carney takes out Brandon Sorensen. Odie Bakshish, who we just saw, and one of the crowd favorites, Adam LZ. When we come back, the Great 8 is upon us here at Michelin Raceway Road, Atlanta. The Royal Purple Road to the Championship presented up, and everybody was absolutely bananas and bonkers, and there was awesome driving. Make today a good old day.
Yeah, you never know when the good old days are.
Nope.
You'll just look back like, those are the good old days.
Yep.
We might be in a good old day right now.
That's what I'm saying. Make today a good old day. In due time, today is a good old day. All right, speaking of good old days, good old boys, we got Matt Field and Justin Pollock, our first battle of the Great 8. Teal and blue all over the track. It's a Falcon lose-win situation here, but which driver's going to come out on top? The bow tie, the Corvette, the flags of Matt Field, the Beast from the Bay, the Drift Cave head caveman, Captain Caveman, going against JTP Justin Pollock. JTP and that Falcon Tires Roush Performance Ford Mustang. Absolute rocket. So this should be a fun one. Both these guys, you know, they go for the backies, they go for the style, they go for the amplitude, that X factor, and there we go. Matt Field will lead. JTP chasing him down. Whoa, little shots fired there. What? That was odd. As look at this, Matt Field composed, massive angle from him. Justin Pollock regains his composure, and now up the hill into that second outside zone goes Matt Field. JTP taking a bit of a shallower line here, and a hiccup there from Justin Pollock. Now coming back down the hill into the touch and go. Now Justin Pollock looks just maybe out of sorts. I don't know what's going on here. So question is, did Matt Field kind of get in the way? No, right? Because he was a lead car. Matt Field's a lead car.
Lead driver has, remember this last year in St. Louis with Osbo. You could see Matt Field is able to move over and utilize the course as the lead driver, and Pollock made a very aggressive move to move out of the way. I don't think he was super close. It may have caught him off guard, but it put him in a situation where he was basically playing catch-up up until this point here. He surges forward to the inside clip, gets pinched off a little bit, goes out onto the grass, and then watch right here. He's going to have a little understeer for a second. Made it work, but not the greatest chase run in terms of having to play catch-up. You want to be in the pocket from the get-go, putting pressure on the drivers and not worrying about mistakes that you have to fix.
Right.
So now we'll switch things up. Justin Pollock goes to the lead as Matt Field now moves to the chase position, which looks like he's got a bit of an advantage here going into the second half of the battle.
All right, JTP out front. He has the clean air, no disruptions, no other vehicle in his way. Let's see how he fares out front. The winner going against either Vaughn Gittin Jr. or Yves Meyer. And Pollock slowly crawling out of that start chicane. Justin Pollock, oh, look at that. Tit for tat right as Pollock initiates, so does Field. Field takes a little bit of angle out of it. Now heading up the hill into that first outside zone. Both of them, no major errors. I like how it's going. Good flow, good proximity from Field. He knocks over that inside clip. Now into the touch and go. And Pollock around that final clip, using all of the track, Ryan. Good run from both these guys. Look at the flames shooting out of Pollock's vehicle.
Well, second half of the battle, pretty fun to watch here. That was an opportunity, I think, for Matt Field to shut the door and do it distinctly. I'm not sure that he did that, but he probably did enough here. Let's take a look at it. Justin Pollock back on throttle before inside clip one. Matt Field trying to attack coming up the hill here, but Justin keeping him at bay. Field makes a little bit of an adjustment there as now they re-enter the horseshoe here. You can see just the dynamics of the car, backing forth, braking, making adjustments. Field through the smoke line, trying to stay on the inside here, doesn't want to get lost. Here it is coming out of the horseshoe. You can see Field does make a little bit of an adjustment, and so that's what the judges are going to be looking at. I think the chase runs by both drivers were not the exclamation point chase runs.
Right.
Lead runs were pretty good both ways around, but it's going to be weighting of those mistakes.
I think we're really splitting hairs here, and you know, yeah. Oh wow, quickly. Look at this. Slide him left for Field, right for Pollock, and it looks like Matt Field gets the victory. Matt Field moves on to the final four, and look at that. His mantra and his mindset is working out for the Beast in the Bay. Justin Pollock, as his day and evening has ended, but a great effort for him. Great to see him running and looking strong.
Yeah, so far it's going to be an interesting championship lineup. We've got Matt Field, our first driver, into the final four. Gittin and Meyer up next. Pollock with a grade 8 exit, which is pretty good for him to start off the season. Obviously, he is always wanting to be a championship contender and has been right there for the majority of his career. We've got Jeff Jones and Dean Carney on the other side, and then Odie Bakchis and Adam LZ. So some new names.
Yep.
Some guys that we expect to be up there, but Road Atlanta never surprises.
Nope. So Yves Meyer going against, I mean, look at this. Yves Meyer started his day going against a champion, Michael Essa. Yves Meyer going against Ryan Turk, who, you know, has finished, I think his best was second, correct, or third? At least last year was third. And then now he's going against the defending champion, Vaughn Gittin Jr. This is absolutely pinch me moment for the Drift Force BMW. We got Event Silberg. Have you tried announcing the Event Silberg? Nah. From Switzerland.
I keep that stuff to you.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. But from Switzerland, Yves Meyer, an absolute gem. Him and Reynolds have been a great addition to the Formula Drift family. Great vehicles. And speaking of Matt Field, the Drift Cave has prepared those vehicles the last couple of years. Vaughn Gittin Jr. waits on the line. The Monster Energy NATO Tire Ford Performance Mustang RTR Spec 5D.
Okay, Eve, here's your possibility for an upset here.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
See what you can do.
Absolutely. And if you want to drive Vaughn Gittin Jr.'s car, you can in Torque Drift. So Vaughn Gittin Jr. is in Torque Drift, so you can download the game, play for free. So check it out on Android, PC, iOS. Play with 10 of your friends. It's awesome. Drive Vaughn Gittin Jr.'s car. We are in the Link ECU Top 8, the Great 8. Link ECU, the official engine management unit of Formula Drift. Red lights are illuminating, and here we go. Let's send it. Vaughn Gittin Jr., Yves Meyer. Never doing battle against each other as Vaughn Gittin Jr. goes towards the middle of the course, and as we said, the lead car has the right of way. Massive angle there from Vaughn Gittin Jr. lifting that front left tire. Oh man, Yves Meyer getting christened in smoke. Into that second outside zone. We got contact. Vaughn Gittin Jr. stays in it. Woo! Make some noise, Atlanta. Wow, we got rubber on rubber contact, but Houston, we do not have a problem. Yves takes one of those cones as a souvenir all the way home. Ryan, let's take a look at that again in the horseshoe. The Broncos, the Mustangs were bucking.
That was a murderous run there by Vaughn Gittin Jr. You can see the squat of the Mustang. He's back on throttle with massive angle through inside clip number 1, then going up the hill. Let's take a look at this contact here, which Vaughn, he doesn't even seem like he gets phased by it. And I thought maybe he had a broken part, and maybe he does on the right front, but absolutely drives out of it like there's no issue at all. As he's transitioning right here, you can see he makes contact and just stays on the throttle like an absolute beast.
Yeah.
And then extends his gap to Yves with that apparent mistake that was made there, and Yves steals our cone all the way up to the start line. Here it is again. We're probably going to see a really good view of it here. Watch the right, yeah. Oh, left front and right front collide pretty much head on as Vaughn was trying to manage his way to that inside clip. Wow. Crazy, man.
Door to door, it says it on the roof of Yves Meyer, but it's wheel to wheel, face to face, mono a mono. Look at that, Vaughn just pulling right back up. Take a lick and it keeps on ticking. And I know that Vaughn, in the
advisable.
I mean, hey, feels good. It feels good, right? So I know they developed their suspension arms in the offseason. They were really working on those things. A big CNC. I mean, they're beasts.
Like Gumby style, like you hit them and they just go come right back.
Yeah. They take a licking, man. But no, they're stout. They're really beautiful pieces of artwork. So, wondering if Vaughn will call and calling a comp. So yeah, it looks like they might be calling a competition timeout. Okay, cool. So no comp timeout was called because fault was deemed towards Meyer. So Vaughn is allowed to look at his vehicle without utilizing competition timeout. So here is a look at the bracket. Matt Field is already in. We are halfway through the Gittin and Meyer battle. But before we move on and find out what's going on, throw it down to Lorette Nickel, who's with the Beast from the Bay.
Well, Matt Field and I were just talking about the track and how technical it is. And going from outside zone 1 to 2, it's a blind uphill. So, Matt, what are your visual cues there?
The visual cue starts at the transition after into clip 1. As soon as you get that transition done, your focus point is kind of where the horizon disappears, right? And we kind of see the bridge, we see the zone, and it's more or less, once you get into the zone, that's when you have to do whatever you do. Some people left foot brake, some people grab the handbrake, just depends. So I kind of have found my marks of what needs to happen where, and I just try to do the exact same thing no matter what. Even if my instincts tell me otherwise, just do the same thing.
Hey, Matt, thank you so much. Best of luck. Jared?
Thank you, Lorette. right? He seems like he has a different demeanor here, just in regards to just his demeanor. I don't know, just showing up here in 21.
It's appropriate confidence based off preparation.
I like it. It's a great elaboration there, Ryan. I like it. Well done. Well done. That summed it up perfectly.
Because you can have inappropriate confidence.
Why are you like staring right at me and seeming that I have inappropriate confidence? All right, let's move on. Back to the second half of this battle. Vaughn Gittin Jr. and Yves Meyer. The second half of this battle. And Yves now will be out front with those menacing signature RTR LED grill lights in his rear view mirror. All right, the Type S lights are on, underglow. And now into that first front flip. Here comes Yves Meyer. Vaughn Gittin Jr. chasing him down. Now pass, taking all the cones, eating them up like pack pellets. Now into that second outside zone. Yves does not get all the way out there, and that was a line he took with Vaughn Gittin Jr., and that's what actually caused the accident. So it looks like Vaughn maybe give himself a little bit of room here and might surge here towards the end. No, he does not, but he knows he has that kind of advantage, so didn't really need to apply the pressure too much.
Well, the interesting thing about the contact is that it really didn't disrupt Vaughn at all, so it's not really going to be a major deduction for Yves. It's really going to be about how these two runs come together. Vaughn was not affected, and Yves was aggressive, yes, but what Yves did not result in Vaughn making a big mistake. And so, if Vaughn was one of those guys that would have flopped in that situation, then we'd have a completely different scenario, but that's not what Vaughn does. So now the judge is going to be looking at both runs, how they both competed against each other, who hit the marks as the lead, who had the better chase run, looking at all those things overall, and then coming up with the winner. But it's a great battle overall. Vaughn Gittin Jr. and Yves Meyer putting on a show for everybody, and now we await the judges' results.
Have to assume the needle is going to go the way of Gittin, but a great effort by Yves Meyer from Switzerland. Let's make it official. Slide him left for Gittin, and there it is. Vaughn Gittin Jr., defending and two-time Formula Drift champion, gets the win and is moving on to the Final Four. Yves Meyer from Switzerland is knocked out. How are we doing out there, Atlanta? Make some noise. Still a stout crowd there, Ryan. That is a, what do you say? Something about confidence? Something about confidence? Appropriate confidence. Thank you. All right. That is appropriate confidence. Hey, my director wants to make sure you guys are still there. Are you guys still out there? Make some noise. I saw you, young man. You and the shaggy haircut on the fence. You got to make some noise, bro. Yeah, I'm looking at you. Yeah, you just stood there. Man. I need you to get hyped. This guy got his Ariat hat on. There you go.
You got one for
all right.
you.
Yeah, just calm down, bro. Homeboy in the DC shirt. Who else we got out there? Hey, happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. Moms, grandmas. Happy Mother's Day. We got those Royal Purple banger sticks. Oh, these guys slaying it. Big Jeff Gordon fan right there. Getting after it.
That was a crank.
Ferda. Doing it for the boys. Gonna change our status to it's complicated. Thank you guys and gals for joining us out here as we are going to the other side of the bracket of the Great 8. We are in the Link ECU Great 8. And we are overhead looking at Dean Carnage Carney, Jeff Jones. He's on the line, dude. Look at this. He says, I went through Osbo. We're getting ready to, again, you do know this, Ryan, that if he wins, he takes his Edelbrock Supercharger off the car and takes it on the podium with him. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah, so if he wins, they boop, 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 and they're taking the supercharger.
And what's the backstory there?
Just he loves the thing, and that's what got him to where he's at right now.
That's how he gets it done.
That's how he gets it done.
I mean, the guy's so epic that it just
does not surprise
totally
me.
Follows. Yeah,
does not surprise me. Dean Carnage Carney, I don't know what he's going to do. He's just he's going to do backflips, and he's going to shut down the bar. I think that's what he's going to do. Oh man, here we go. Jeff Jones, 818 Brewing, Edelbrock, GT Radial. Then you got Dean Carnage Carney, Oracle Lighting, Dodge Viper. All about carnage with a K. Here we go. Jeff Jones will lead. Jones qualified 18th. Carney qualified 26th. He's one of those late eights. But now he's trying to birth a podium finish. Jeff Jones initiates into that first front clip, and Dean Carney comes in hot. Makes contact with Jones, but Jones stays in it. Now coming to that first outside zone, into that second outside zone goes Jones. look at Jeff Jones. Absolute beast. Coming through that touch and go, and then that final inside clip. Ryan Sage, a great battle here between Jones and Carnage.
Oh, wow.
What's going through your mind right now? You're just kind of looking at the screen.
Well, okay, honestly,
Yeah.
what was going through my mind is I was thinking back to Texas last year when we said, wow, Jeff Jones, he could potentially get his first podium.
Yeah.
And now we find ourselves in this same situation. Let's take a look at the run first. Little love tap there from Dean Carney. Stays in it, but Jeff Jones pushes, has to do a little bit of braking there. Let's take a look at it again. This is where the decel zone ends right there at that inside clip. Jones is able to muscle through it. And now Kearney through the smoke line, has to pull some angle out of the car to get back on it as Jones gets into outside zone number 2, a little bit shallow, pushes wide on that inside clip. That allows Dean to take a little bit of ground back. Now coming down the hill here is Dean eyeing him up, smartly staying out of that smoke line, but he does miss the inside clip that Jones was able to get through, and we are seeing Jones pull off to the side there. I think he is going to talk to his spotter and potentially find out who was at fault for the contact. I'm pretty sure that it will be Dean, and that will allow Jeff Jones, just like Vaughn Gittin Jr., to take a look at the car. But at the same event in Texas, just going back to what we were talking about,
Yes.
we also had LZ get very close to a podium as well. And so we find ourselves in a very similar situation here. We've got Jones, who you mentioned qualified 18th, LZ 27. So we're going to start keeping an eye on these because as we move into the Final Four, qualifying position will determine podium position for at least one guy.
Yeah, that is absolutely correct. So, yep. All right, while we get things sorted, you can see the flyover here of the hot grid area. We'll be right back. More action when we return here to Road Atlanta, the Royal Purple Road to the Championship, presented by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
And Odi Bakshis.
So Odi Bakshis, Adam LZ, and Ryan, you talked about this earlier, similar scenarios about Texas, LZ, and Jones, but here we go, right back, jumping into it. Odi Bakshis and Adam LZ, two S15s, two very different builds. Oh boy, look at that nastiness. We got door-to-door, wheel-to-wheel, and LZ just absolutely slamming into the side of Odi Bakshis. Let's take a look at this. So let's see who's at fault here. I want to take a look at the instant replay. Saw a bit of an exchange there of Adam going up to the door of him. I don't know if it was a sorry or what the heck, or didn't see the...
Now, I think this is LZ getting maybe a little bit overzealous here, and we know how challenging getting the timing right on initiation is. This is all a momentum zone here, right? The contact is made 25 feet, 20 feet before, so Odi is allowed to basically slow down there in order to get ready and be back on throttle by inside clip number 1. I love the aggression here from Adam LZ, but you can see he's moving at a much quicker rate after initiation than Odi Bakshis, and Odi really just had to buckle up and take that one. It's well before the first inside clip, so this shouldn't be too controversial here. The judge has been basically talking about this all event long. But let's get Ryan on while we've got a little bit of clear time. Judge Ryan Lantane, if we could get you on real quick and turn your mic on. This one seems like a pretty clear-cut situation, but why don't you tell us how you guys thought about it, and also what you think happened there with Adam and Odi.
You hit the nail on the head, Ryan. LZ just came in too fast. He wasn't really judging what Odi was doing in the lead position. You can see that he just came in way too fast. He didn't slow down enough and made, at least it was, the cars were parallel when they hit. You know, it wasn't a nose into a door or something. But clearly there's some damage on both cars, so they're going to have to look at that. And yeah, it's going to be fault on Adam LZ.
All right, so the play here is going to be fault on Adam LZ. That means Odi will be able to fix his vehicle without having to call a competition timeout. He will also be front-loaded with 10 minutes to do that. And depending on the damage for LZ, he either has to call a competition timeout, or he may bow out of competition. There's a number of different options available there. Nonetheless, the way it will go down
the start line, and if you can remember, we got that contact there, and we'll have to. This is the second run of this Grade 8 battle. Who's moving on to the Final Four? So we saw Jeff Jones initiate, and Dean Carney, if you can recall, came in hot in that chase position. So the question is, you know, Dean was at fault. So look at the guys having some fun in the back. Yo, the Jones gang.
There's just
Jones
there's nothing like this.
No, Jones and his team are a different breed, man, and I think it needs to be celebrated. Here we go. Dean Carney out front. Jones in that chase position. Carney initiates massive angle there. Wow, that was very sick. Solid initiation there, but Jones needs to get active. Oh, and Dean goes over, sprays the dirt to the sand people right there. And look at Jones. Ryan, you don't give a lot of drivers nicknames, but you deemed him relentless years ago, and I think it just really summarizes who he is and his spirit.
Oh, I'm definitely going to need to see that again, and probably the first run.
Right.
I need a refresher.
Oh, nice. Let's go with the little side-by-side action. The BC Racing side-by-side instant replay. BC Racing, the official suspension of Formula Drift. Go for the gold.
All right, so Jeff Jones and Dean Carney here, keeping us entertained into the night. Jeff Jones, Dean Carney, waiting at the line. We'll pull up some replays here. We've got 2 runs in the books now. We had a bit of a circumstance on run number 1 and a bit of a circumstance on run number 2. So they are not only keeping us entertained, they're also making it very difficult for this panel of 3 judges up here. But nonetheless, a great way to kick off the 2021 season. Still the other half of LZ and Odie to go, I believe.
Yep. Odie and LZ, and they had that contact with LZ coming in hot. So a lot of these chase drivers absolutely going for it. All right, side-by-side of that BC Racing, side-by-side instant replay.
All right, Jones on the left screen in the lead. Dean on the right. The lead run is on the left-hand side for Jones. That was the first lap, rather. That's where they got a little tight up there on the initiation. Jones shooting out wide in his lead run to get out to touch and go number 1, but comes up short on outside zone number 2. Goes wide on the clip as Dean in his lead run trying to pull away from Jones, coming through the touch and go and through this final snap here. And a tough battle here for the judges, and getting some news from the LZ camp here coming through. Want to wait for the official nature of it, but our task at hand is to find a winner between Jeff Jones and Dean Carney.
All right, here's a look from the drones. This is the second run, so this is with Dean out front, Jones in the chase position. Now remember that contact made by Dean. Did Jones do enough? And Dean, you know, I mean, that's a deduction, but it's not incomplete.
And Dean was looking really good up to that point. As you said, it's just a deduction, a mistake. His initiation, his angle, the flow that he carried through the first inside clip, all pretty solid. Pondering. I see one judge that's no longer pondering. He's like, I got it.
Scores are in. All of them are in. All right, here we go. Slide him left for Jones, right for Carney. We got it one more time from Eggert. And Lantain says Jones, and Brian says Jeff Jones gets the win. Jeff Jones is moving on to the Final Four. He qualified 18th. Odie Bakshi's qualified 3rd. Adam LZ qualified 27th. Oh, man. Ryan? Well, Ryan, I believe Lorette just texted us, and she sent us some news about what was to be the second half of our next and last battle of the Great Eight.
Uh-oh. What do you got?
But we are finding out that LZ was unable to repair his vehicle in the 5-minute allotment. So Adam LZ is out of competition. Odie Bakshis will advance into the Final Four. Odie Bakshis qualified 3rd. Jeff Jones, the lowest qualifying driver. He needs to beat Odie in order to podium.
Right.
On
That's
the other
story.
Yeah, that's the story that, like, you know, everybody likes an underdog. I don't consider Jeff Jones an underdog anymore, man. Not anymore. He took out Osbo. You know, he gave it to Carney. you know, he has all the makings there, and you got to think also, is Odie 100%? You know, Jeff was down a cylinder.
Right.
Remember that? I mean, he
Right.
called it. Oh, he used his comp timeout.
Yeah.
He used his comp timeout earlier. He didn't have to use one for this.
So he's going to have this natural break that will happen here as we move back over to the
Yeah.
left-hand side.
Well, we have Odie. He has to run the second half of his battle.
Yeah.
Just to make sure the car runs.
Yeah,
'cause
we got that. So that's 2 minutes, right?
couple minutes.
We
We'll
got-
take a short break. There's Odie. He's navigating his way up to the start line.
And then Field and Gittin.
Field and Gittin,
And then
Jones
we'll
and
revisit.
Odie. The plot thickens.
Underdog, interesting. I'd love to know the history of how that. Everybody always says that.
Yeah,
Is there
I know.
anything? Is there such thing as an overdog? Or
That's just my dog.
A regular dog?
You're just my dog. You know what I mean? Here's how it plays out. So we will see the second run of Odie Bakshish, but it is official. We'll see Odie rip through the course in his Falcon Tires Field Suspension S15. But there is your final four. Matt Field versus Vaughn Gittin Jr. Jeff Jones going against Odie Bakshish on the right side of the bracket.
Jones, once again, he's peeking through the door of a podium, but because of his qualifying position, as you said, he's got to beat Odie. And you made a good point. Okay, let's go to this interview.
Oh, yeah. Lorette Nickel is with Adam LZ. What's up, Adam?
All right. Well, guys, I was told Adam damaged his right front strut. The team was trying to damage the entire assembly. The look of defeat. I'm so sorry, Adam.
Sheesh. I mean, my guys, like, so close. We had maybe like 2 seconds to go. I mean, I didn't know I had to have the car running before it was out. So even if we made those seconds, the car wasn't running, so we would have lost anyway. But this was a great display. I mean, my team got a front corner changed in 5 minutes. Not the best display of driving. I kind of went a little too fast. Probably should have not done that. I don't know. If you want to win, you got to go big, right?
Absolutely. Adam, thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you.
Guys.
Thank you, Lorette. Obviously, she's at the top of the hill, a little glitchy, but
Good attitude by him, though.
great attitude by
Yeah.
him. I mean, and that's just that what was the confidence thing again?
Appropriate.
Appropriate confidence. I'll get it. I'll get it eventually by the end of the night. Appropriate confidence.
Kind of digging it, though.
What, appropriate confidence? Yeah, I like it. I think that's the word of the day. Yeah. So, all right. Let's speaking of screaming, let's hear this man scream down the hill. We're gonna lay out so you can listen to this supercharged V8 under the hood of the Falcon Tire Field Suspension Sylvia S15 of Edimus Odie Bakshish. And there it is, boy at Heatwave. What's up, Justin? Thanks for tuning in, bro. If you haven't seen him. Oh, yeah. So, I know they're feeling the heat wave. I know Justin is up in the Bay Area. The Bay Area boys got the shades on. Ready to get tuned up. Matt feeling the flow, feeling the vibe. But he's going against that man, Vaughn Gittin Jr., two-time and defending Formula Drift champion. But again, just the attitude of the confidence, the justified confidence, as Field and Gittin are warming up their respective tires.
That's a cool one, too.
Yeah, justified confidence. Yeah, we have
They have like a sick album title.
Justified Confidence?
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Like if you're claiming hard a little bit.
Yeah, it's like, justified
Like I'm dope,
confidence.
but I'm justified in.
Yeah. Like humble confidence. I'm the most humble guy I know. Yeah, dude, that's what's up. All right, here we go. All joking aside, it's always great to be back here, wrapping out alongside Ryan Sage and Laurent Nickel, our judges, our whole crew. It's great to see the family. The band's back together, baby. And the front and center, the singers, the musicians, the bands, Vaughn Gittin Jr. and Matt Field right now are center stage. Matt Field will lead. He's your #1 qualifier. Vaughn Gittin Jr. qualifying 4th. Still in the 90s, but just not enough. And that could come into play here to, you know what? Actually, no, I was going to say one of these guys are guaranteed 3rd place, but that's not the case because Odie did qualify in between them. So it's a must-win for Vaughn Gittin Jr. in order, no, not the case even there either. Here we go, Matt Field and Vaughn Gittin Jr. The scenarios play out as the tires burn on. Matt Field initiates into that front clip. Right there, look at him. Matt Field just wraps it around that front clip. Now going to that first outside zone, some wavering by both the drivers in that second outside zone. Right there, riding the line is, woo, oh, doctor, look at this. Both these guys showing up, toe-to-toe, mano-a-mano, body parts being shredded off, shredded to send it to end it. Matt Field and Vaughn Gittin Jr. putting on an air show. Wow.
Loving that. Great way to kick off the Final Four. Matt Field, #1 qualifier. Vaughn Gittin Jr., #4. And the current champion, Matt Field, trying to dethrone Vaughn Gittin Jr. Super close action coming up the hill with Matt Field shooting into outside zone #2, right at the edge of the track. But Vaughn following him perfectly through outside zone 2 into the inside clip. Oh, little bit of a washout there by Vaughn, but he corrects very quickly, gets back on it. A great shot from above to see that little correction that Vaughn made. Here it is coming out of the keyhole one more time, or going into the keyhole rather. Matt Field super deep on that outside zone. Look at Vaughn with the pressure, unbelievable. And then right there, just a slight little adjustment. You can see the front wheels moving. This is a dangerous area, that smoke line. Very important to stay out of it. Vaughn navigates through it pretty well. And now we will switch things up.
Wow.
The 2-time champion, Vaughn Gittin Jr. at the lead.
Yep.
Trying to make history in 2021. Wants to get that 3rd. Wants to tie James Dean. Wants to tie Chris Forsberg. Matt Field, #1 qualification. Wants a championship of his own. They meet in the Final Four. They give us an awesome first half. And here's the second.
Awesome driving by both these gentlemen. Who's going to come out on top? Vaughn Gittin Jr. gets the clean air behind the wheel of his Ford Mustang. And Matt Field hunting him down. Vaughn Gittin Jr. initiates. Big angle from Vaughn Gittin Jr. Look at that. He's got that back right tire, Ryan, your point now. Did it go flat? I don't know. That thing it looks like he's on rim potentially. But if he finished, might have debeated. But if he finished, oh boy, and there it goes.
It debeated on initiation, and it's fine in terms of can he finish finishing the run because it's the second half of the battle.
Yes.
But obviously it doesn't look like he was able, well, and Matt got really close there too. It can't ever be easy.
No, but I do believe that with that, when he transitioned, because what was that?
It's the right rear.
Right rear. So when he came down, okay, here we go.
Watch it right here. It goes
Boop.
off right there.
Yep.
As he's hitting the e-brake, it pops off the rim. So, I mean, sometimes they can kind of pop back on and you can still maintain some grip, but let's see, it's off completely there. So he's got basically metal to asphalt, and you have to think that that is playing a role in the ability to put down power in the appropriate way. The judges will have to make an interpretation and a call on this section of the course. Now remember, the decel zone is passed. Right there, they should be accelerating through that inside clip. There it is in slow motion. You can see.
There it is. Yeah, locking it up. Bye.
Yeah. I go bye-bye.
Yeah.
Wow.
Tire went to heaven. So as they transition here, you got to think that trying to put that power down.
Kind of pop back on for a second.
Yeah.
And then it's like, nah, I got to get going.
Nah. All right, I'm going to head out. So now you can see him just staying on it. E-brake. Matt's taking a tighter line. You got to think that moving forward, oh boy. Okay, the plot thickens.
You don't want to have it easy.
Nope. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm overhearing the judges talking, and I think Ryan's microphone might even be open.
Yeah. I think that has to factor into the overall interpretation. I hear Ryan putting his mic on. Let's open him up. Tell us what you guys been talking about, Ryan.
Yeah, right away we saw that Von's tire debeated on initiation, and the amount of grip these tires produce, if you're down one tire, you're clearly going to be having trouble maintaining the amount of speed and pace throughout the course that you'd expect a lead car to do. And then as they came up here towards inside clip number 2, you could see that Von over-rotated, clearly caused by the lack of one of the tires on the car. As you were saying, metal on asphalt. So Matt Field, I think, made a very light contact with him. I didn't deem it to be Matt Field's fault at all. And I put it on Von Gittin. It's clearly not Von Gittin's fault, but he had a tire debead, so that's what's at fault for this.
That's going to change the complete attitude of the vehicle. So,
absolutely.
Yeah, so here's what they said, and Matt Field gets the win. He's going to the finals. Matt Field is guaranteed at minimum second place here in Atlanta. Juan Sun, the number 1 qualifier. Can he make it a perfect event? That is the big thing, right? Perfect event for Matt Field. Great way to start it. And there we can see Chelsea Denofa, Lorette Nickel up there in the pits. And the RTR camp looking on, so Field.
So where does that put us?
That puts us basically, the other side is Jones and Odie. If Jones loses, Von Gittin Jr. gets 3rd.
Right.
If Odie wins, Von Gittin Jr. gets, no, sorry. Yeah. If Jones wins, Odie gets 3rd. I apologize.
Correct.
Thank you.
If Odie wins, Vaughn gets 3rd.
Thank you.
That's how we're doing it.
All right. Well, some people have lost some money here today. Their bets went south, but regardless, you know who's gonna win right now? No, I have no idea. Us. We're all gonna win. That's a great way of putting it. Jones and Odie. Bakshis. Oh man, this should be fun. You know, you gotta think that we were talking about just the confidence, but I think just the zaniness and the fun having that Jones is having and his team. I think that's really just keeping him cool, calm, and collect.
Yeah, totally. Like keeping it loose, fun, happy, smiling. There's something
dancing.
To be said about the
Yeah.
There's a fine balance of the seriousness of competition and being able to have fun. I mean, drifting is fun by its very nature.
Fact.
And that's what makes it such a beautiful sport. It's cool that it's also a competition because you have both of those elements. And now we're putting ourselves in a position where one of these two guys is going to be going to the finals. Is it going to be Odie Bakshis or is it going to be Jeff Jones?
Here we go. Odie Bakshis out front. Jeff Jones in that chase position. The first portion of this battle. Matt Field waits in the wings as Von Gittin Jr. does as well. Will he get 3rd place or will he get 4th? Odie Bakshis coming down the hill in that Falcon Tires Field Suspension S15. Here comes Jones in tow. Odie brings around that first front clip. Well executed by both the drivers. Couple car length distance in between the two drivers. First outside zone, now the second outside zone. Jones taking a tighter line. Ooh. Look at that, wheel to wheel. Good transition. And now coming out of the keyhole. Jeff Jones make a small correction, straightens out, now back up the hill. Odie and Jones, no major mistakes from either driver. I think Odie had a really good lead run. Jeff had some corrections in the back in that chase position. Now, if I'm Jones, I got to run the run of my life. I know Odie is going to chase me down.
Yeah, that is something that we expect from Odie Bakshis to be an aggressive chase driver. But here he is in the lead, laying down a solid, clean lead run, fulfilling that first outside zone, getting pretty much to the edge of the second outer zone. But Jones, no slack here, surging in moments, pushing the pace on Odie. Yet, like you said, a couple little mistakes, a couple areas we had a little bit less angle, but he still kept and stayed in the fight. So now he's got to switch up the mentality, go from the chase mentality to the lead run. I've got the clean air. Let me put down the run of my life. And Odie Bakshis, we know what he can do in the chase position.
Jeff is buzzing right now. He's absolutely frothing. He is just, he wants this on so many levels. I know I saw his wife, she's here, and she says, I can work remotely. I'm trying to, just be here, be present. And Jones is going for it, but I know, you know, Amy, Odie's wife, she's here in the building. She's loving it. She's back, and it's great, man. This is just all one big happy family. But one of these gentlemen is going to the finals, guaranteed a podium spot. Here we go. Send it, Jeff Jones coming down the pipe. Odie Bakshi's right there. That's what I was talking about, and that's to be expected. Jones and that 818 Edelbrock. Z coming into that second outer zone. Just barely dips that back left wheel into that second outside zone, transitioning out of the keyhole and through that touch and go. Oh, great transition by both the drivers. Jeff was a little off that touch and go, Ryan. Awesome driving by both the drivers.
Well, a great battle here in the Final Four. Well done by both drivers, as you said, but let's take a little bit more of a granular look here. Jones, nice early initiation on the throttle through that inside clip. Odie, always a beast in the chase, keeping it close, going uphill. One of the hardest parts of the course to time to get to outside zone number 2. But Odie moving quickly here to make sure that he's following Jones like a moving clipping point, trying to mirror him the best that he can and look for areas where he can dive in the pocket there, keep the pressure on. Jones out front, following most of the criteria of the lead driver and giving us a great battle to consider here at Road Atlanta in the Final Four.
Oh, man. Let's see what we got. Again, Matt Field waits in the wings, so if Odie wins, Vaughn Gittin Jr. gets third. If Jeff Jones wins, Odie gets third. What do you guys think? Is it Odie Bakshi's? Or is it Jeff Jones? Or is it one more time? Y'all getting loud. I can't hear you. Where are my Odie fans at? Where are my Jeff Jones fans at? Where are my one more time fans at? Slide him left for Jones, right for Odie Bakshi's. Odie gets the win and is advancing on. So the finals are set. The finals are set. Matt Field, Odie Bakshi's are in the finals. That means Vaughn Gittin Jr., that man's wearing the right shirt if he was pulling for Vaughn. Vaughn Gittin Jr. gets third place here in Atlanta.
This is Team Falcon striking back.
Ooh, yeah, that's right. 1-2. Falcon 1-2.
Shot over the bow.
Yeah, shot over the bow. So there it is. What an epic day. Look at these battles, and it ends up the teal and blue on top. Oh, look at this. The frenemies. The frenemies are at the top.
Oh,
Field and Odie, right? I mean,
lot of connections
They've
there.
been doing this series for a while. They've been having fun. They've been making a lot of content together, and here they are. And I think it's going to be no holds barred. These guys are going to have an absolute blast. They've been, testing, ripping, and shredding together, and ripping and tearing, man. It's going to go down.
Yeah, no kidding. It's going to be a great battle. These two guys, well-deserved. Field has been on a tear all weekend. You tend to see these kind of things happen more often than not. A guy that qualifies number 1 at least makes it to the finals, and if not, wins the event. That's something that Matt Field has yet to do, but he is on the cusp of doing it. On the other side of the bracket, you have a guy that has come out as a championship contender for the past few years. He's always in the hunt. Didn't have the finish that he wanted last year towards the end of the year, but everything was so crazy last year. Now he's reset. He's got an incredible car, and this should be a battle that we will all remember for a long time.
Yep. And it's just that number 1 qualifier, having that perfect event. Not many drivers can actually execute that, and that's just, again, I really attribute that to just how calm he is. So speaking of the calmness, how's Matt Field faring down there, Lorette?
Well, I just asked him, Matt Field, what's changed? And he said secrets. He's not going to give away any of his secrets, but Matt Field.
It's all a mind game. That's it.
That is absolutely, it's a mind game.
So long, and I'm trying to figure out my mind game. I'm not going to say I figured it out quite yet. It's a long road, but definitely making improvements, and I'm happy to be here. And that's rare. It's hard. It's hard for us to be happy or excited about being here because we're all so cutthroat. So that's where I'm at.
What else can you pinpoint that's working so well for you tonight?
Honestly, shameless plug, the tires. Like, these Falcons are incredible. 295, air down, temperatures cool off. I'm driving a car that surprises me how much grip it has. When it was sunny out, I was kind of searching a little bit, and as soon as it cooled off, the car just started hooking up. I'm doing wheelies up the hill, so I'm pumped.
And let's talk about that. So now with the sun down, the track cooling down, what adjustments did you have to make?
Well, normally you loosen up the car when the sun goes down. We gripped it up, and I just said, drive better. That was it.
As simple as that. He makes it sound so simple, you guys.
I'm trying my hardest.
And you're going against your Falcon Tire teammate.
Yes.
Do you know what to expect with him?
That's the thing. We drive together so much that there is no games. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. It's 100% from the second we leave the gate. That's how we practice, 200 laps on a normal test day between him and I. So it's going to be real, that's for sure.
And that must inspire a lot of confidence.
Oh, absolutely. I know how he drives. He knows how I drive. For instance, following Vaughn into that keyhole, I knew that there was going to be a slow up at Interclip 2, and there was. So knowing that doesn't exist with Odie means I can just be on his door, and I'm sure he feels the same.
Okay, I know you have to get ready, Matt Field. Thank you so much for your time. Jared?
Thank you so much, Lorette. And I'm just coordinating with Larry Chen right now. He says, hey, ATL, you guys want to do that light thing again. So we're going to light up the night here when the cars are on the track. So don't pull out your phones and your lights just yet. When Odie and Field are on the track and they're running down, I need you to light up the track because Larry Chen is down on the ground. He's going to grab that. He's going to grab that as the stormtroopers look on. These are not the droids you're looking for. Thank you for joining us out here as May the 4th be with you. Revenge of the 5th and our #1 qualifier. The finals are here. Everybody turn on your phone lights. Let's light this place up. Turn on your phone lights. Hey-o. Let's light it up. Larry Chen going to snap the pics. Larry, you ready, buddy? Little baby send. Let's send it! Atlanta, line up the night. The finals are here. It's a Falcon 1-2. In which order are they going to land? Matt Field, the beast from the Bay, initiates. Throwing into that first front clip. Odie Bakshi's right there on the back. Oh! Odie Bakshi's lunges forward, gets in to the side of Matt Field. You see him go on the opposite side. The accident happens. And the carbon Kevlar body kit lands right in front. Oh, man, we got side skirts, front bumpers. We got it all. That was interesting. How did he go on that side? Odie says, look, I need damage on this side, too. Let's just go and throw it on that side.
Well, we know these guys come out aggressive, and this is a course where you're going really fast then slow, then really fast again, then slow, then really fast again. And these kind of things can happen in areas like that. Now, remember, that's a decel zone, that's a decel zone, that's not a decel zone. That's not a decel zone. That's not a decel zone. The decel zone starts there, and then it goes up to the start of outside zone number 2. So just for the record, that's how the track is laid out. They even touched, they kissed. I think Odie transitioned a little quickly there.
Yeah. Well, it was like it was a shallow transition. So looks like they did kiss there, and then, yeah. I think he just gripped up and it shot him to the right side as opposed to kind of getting loose and dropping in a formation.
So interesting. Let's take a look back at Odie. He has not used a competition timeout. Field has not used a competition timeout, so they both have one. We will need to get fault because this is now deemed as a collision because the run stopped.
Yep.
So fault has to happen here. We typically will also do fault if there's just contact, which means the run doesn't necessarily stop, just in case there is a damaged part that we don't see and it becomes a safety issue. But in this case, where it is completely stopped, it goes into the collision category. We need to deem fault, and then it would be an incomplete for one of the drivers. That's the big thing that happens in a collision, is that the run stops, and that means that somebody caused that accident, that collision, and will be deemed with an incomplete. Here's another look at the momentum zone. You can see clearly the touch and go area where this happened is not a momentum zone. So that means drivers need to be maintaining speed through there. Now, I think you're right, Jared. I think your read on it initially is there was a bit of a shallow transition from Odie, and he kind of gripped up and came forward. But have the judges made a call?
Yeah, the judges made a call. Who's at fault? Say it again. Fault on Odie. Was that unanimous? Fault is on Odie. All right, yeah, so fault is on Odie. So that means Matt Field can put hands on the car and inspect the vehicle. So the fault is on Odie, so Field can put the hands on the car. If Odie wants to get hands on his vehicle, he would have to take it and utilize his competition timeout.
Yeah, that is correct. And we are in a pretty clear situation here where there's a clear advantage for Matt Field with Odie Bakshi's getting fault for the collision and being awarded an incomplete. So that means that Matt Field would need to also incomplete on his chase run in order for there to be the possibility of a one more time. However, 2 incompletes on a chase run mean we could revert to the lead as a comparison, but let's take a look at it again here.
So they do kiss on initiation right here.
Yeah, they kiss here. Field is on throttle well before the inside clip, and then Odie's going to quickly transition a bit early there, and that's where you see the contact. Can we roll that back just real quick one more time? I want to just take a look at one little item, just for my own edification, if you will.
Well, all the lights were on, but they lit up and the boys got lit.
The hype of the finals.
Yep, the hype of the finals, and Matt talked about it. Lorette didn't have words with Odie, but he says, you know, we've driven together, there's no foul play, we know what to expect, and inspecting the corners. There we are overlooking, is that Odie's vehicle? Man, they are working in the dark over there. Absolute pitch black. Fortunately, they got that Type S lighting, right? So 1/2 of the battle is completed. Odie at fault. That means he's at a deficit. Matt Field is 1/2 of a battle left, and he is going to win here in Atlanta, which I don't think he has won before here.
I think Odie?
No, I'm saying Field, because Odie's at fault. Field has never won here before.
Right.
I believe
right.
Odie has.
Yeah, he has one here.
Yes.
I remember Ron Bergenholtz cried that night.
Yep. Yep. Field is focusing on his right rear, possible bent arm. So that could play a major role here. He does have 10 minutes because of the contact and the collision, as you called it, as opposed to a competition timeout. Because he wasn't at fault, it's a 10-minute allotment. Competition timeouts are just 5-minute allotment.
And this is digging deep into the rule book, but this is something that we've had in here in the rule book for a couple of years for situations like this, is that and I want to go back and do a quick refresher on it, but I do not believe that you can win the finals, that we will wait.
Under default.
That we will wait and give additional time so that we can see the conclusion of the finals, unless the driver at fault has to bow out of competition.
Right. So we can see the Drift Force boys down there helping as well. Yeah, so you can see that is the hot pit area that's, at the top of the hill. So they take any necessary tools and parts. They have what's called parts boards, where they have corners of the vehicle. A lot of the teams have utilized this for numerous years, but parts boards. So that right corner, the left front, right front, whatever you got. So as can see Lorette Nickel down there. Hopefully we can get some words with Matt Field. And Lorette, go ahead. Down to you, girl.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Hopefully you can hear me. There's a lot of cars and a lot of things in the way, but Matt Field sitting in the car, and there's been some damage to the right side. So tell us what the team is working on fixing.
Right, so, got it? Right now, it's actually this piece called a toe control plate, and it's basically a sacrifice piece that Part Shop Max builds into their knuckle so that we don't destroy a very expensive billet knuckle. So fortunately, just that plate took the hit. We pull it off, bolt a new one on, check the alignment, and send the car on its way. So this is the first time with this new piece that we've tested, and I guess it's working. I can't see. I'm dying to see, but the boys got me. I trust them.
All right, Matt, thank you so much.
Nice. Very good brief interview. Thank you, Lorette, for some insight there. And then shout out to Part Shop Max, right? And that's kind of keeping the damage at bay and minimizing the costly parts, because like you said, that big billet piece, and look at that, boom, like an absolute F1 NASCAR team. So, what's that?
Yeah, you want to get appropriate confidence. You want to get intelligent parts.
Let's go. Yeah, that's right. Appropriate confidence, baby. When we come back, we will see Matt Field and Odie Bakshi's finish out the finals here at Michelin Race 1. Formula Drift champion will be crowned. So the clock is ticking. The car is not moving. Maybe just aligning it. I think they're just checking the alignment, and I think that's smart. Take the time. You have the 44 seconds, and it should be good to go seeing what's going on here. All right. Hey, Lorette, throwing it down to you. Do they have more time outside of this? I guess they could take 5 more minutes, huh?
He could call his competition timeout, which would give him 5 more minutes. The clock is running down. You can see 24 seconds left. It looks like the guys were measuring the toe. Right now they're working on the front right tire. Matt told me he got hit hardest in the back, so it might be all set, but Kevin Wells holding the clock right now. 7 seconds, and my assumption is that they're going to call the 5 minutes.
All right, yeah, it looks like that clock has expired, so boom, the 5-minute clock
There it is.
does begin. So 5-minute allotment on top of that 10-minute because, again, the collision, 10 minutes was allotted, and now he's utilizing the competition timeout, the whole team. You can see them working on it. Ryan, what do you got?
Well, I was wanting to reference that section in the rule book that talks about this specific thing. It's in 5.1.3. It says, in the case where you have a situation in the final battle where a driver has excessive damage to his vehicle, and we want to finish the event so that way the lead driver can't take advantage of this rule. Hey, I know I'm not at fault, and not fix their car.
Yeah.
That we reserve the right to give them more time to fix the vehicle. If the car is completely smashed up and totally trashed, then they would call it, and then Matt would get the win in that situation. But the way that the rule is written here is it says if the case above occurs in the final battle, Formula Drift reserves the right to make adjustments to the rule above in order to complete the competition. Example, allow additional time beyond the 10 minutes for repairs.
Got it.
So we kind of have that in there. I know Kevin knows that. I believe that they're not super rushing, so I think that they're confident they're going to be able to get it back out there. And obviously, Field doesn't want to win it by sitting on the sidelines.
No, most definitely not. And this isn't something that Odie wanted to happen either. I know we're focusing on Matt Field, but I believe that we haven't checked in on Odie. I don't know if he called the comp timeout either or as well, but I know that the teal and blue teams are working, so the clock is ticking for Matt Field, but you brought up a great point. They're not thrashing. You can see the alignment tools there on the wheels, making sure everything is up to snuff. And looks like just rolling it, check it one more time. Fire her up, let her rip, Tater Chip. That's right. All right, there it is. Matt Field is rolling. Make some noise, Atlanta. Don't stop believing. That's right, Brooks. Don't stop believing. That is right, Brooks Church in the building. Thank you, sir. He is a fun haver for sure. Just a small town boy, you know what I mean? Living in a lonely world. All right, Matt Field, you can see Vaughn Gittin Jr. He knows he's got 3rd place, but who's going to get the win? So with that contact of Odie and Field, Odie sits with the deficit. Field with some confidence, feeling the flow. It's all mind games, as he says.
Yeah, tricky part here is Odie's going to get out of the gate fast. So Field doesn't really have the ability to kind of sit back and sandbag this one because he could be inactive chase.
Yeah.
Interesting thing is how much damage was sustained that may have an effect on the run for either drivers. That's always a hard thing to kind of tell from our perspective.
Something you can't see.
Yeah.
I mean, he talked about that, the development of that suspension bit by Part Shop Max to not sustain damage, mitigate damage, and make sure that you're not, having to replace that full corner. But the problem is there's that, it's not the $1,000 part that usually breaks. It's usually the 10-cent part that breaks.
Yeah.
That'll end up getting you. You know what I mean? That's like Gucci in his line. He didn't have any power, and it was just a dumb line that popped off.
We can't allow that.
No. Higher tiered vibes. Higher tiered vibes, my friend. Did we confirm if Matt Field? I really want to go out on a limb and say that I believe he has never won here at Atlanta.
In terms of confirmation, I'm going to say that that's pretty certain.
Yeah. All right. So again, let's get those lights up once again. We got a packed house. Adam Jabay's tuning in. Jababy, how we doing, buddy? Adam Jababy tuning in. Thank you, guys and gals, all of you for watching. We still have a packed house here. Yeah, let's pull out those lights, turn them on Saturday night.
Yeah.
You ain't got anywhere else to go but here. So light up the night, get those camera lights going, the phone lights. Yeah, Matt Field's only win came in 2016, Texas and Irwindale.
Trying to get that triple.
Yeah. Would love to see that for Matt Field. So again, light up the night. Here we go. Larry Chen with the flicks. Baby Send. Spicy Leaf. Jammer. What would it be? Joner Bams. Let's go. Chris Yule. Joner Bams. Is that sufficient? Here we go. Send it for the finals. Odie Bakshis out front. Matt Field in the chase position. Who's coming out on top? Odie. Missing some of those carbon Kevlar bits, wraps it around that front clip, gets a little closer, doesn't have that bumper on. And look at this big angle. Matt Field with a big correction.
Oh boy.
And Matt Field, is that considered incomplete? Kind of came out of power, and now coming back down the hill.
Guys,
is that an incomplete? But the contact, Ryan, I hear you screaming, hooting and hollering. Is that enough? Wow.
I mean, this is a weird situation because the incomplete by Odie comes in the chase. Matt Field couldn't finish his lead run, so they don't have a lead run to compare if the two incompletes in the chase are in fact legit. Odie had one for hitting Matt, right? Now let's take a look at Matt in the chase. Oh man, this is getting interesting. We thought it was over. Matt Field right there. Brings Angle out of the car, and then again coming up the hill, he understeers for a second. The car is struggling. The car is struggling, and Matt, in this critical part right there, he understeers, loses some angle. So the question is, and that one was a little bit more extreme, the question is that an incomplete? Because if it's an incomplete, both drivers in the chase have incompletes. Odie hit Matt, so he didn't have a lead run that the judges could compare it to. Somebody help me.
Help me. Help. The judges are deliberating right now, and they're analyzing just as hard as you are. Oh man, the fans don't want to go home. The fans are screaming. All right, what do you guys think? Do we have a winner? Is it Field? Is it Odie? What do you guys think? Where are my Odie fans at? Where are my Matt Field fans at? Who thinks they should go one more time? So, here we go to the judges. Survey says, guess what?
You gotta be kidding me.
You know, if this shows up, they're going one more time.
Goodness gracious. Wow.
They're going at it again.
Look at it. Matt Field's team is smiling.
Dude, that was silly. Silly. Yeah, they got to get some fresh rubber underneath, and Falcon Tires being absolutely abused. There we go. Children of all ages.
Oh, she's so sad.
She's a Matt Field fan. She's bummed. She's bummed about it. So they are going at it again. They'll throw some fresh Falcons underneath the vehicle. I mean, look, you can see the traffic over there. If you haven't seen it already, we ain't going anywhere. Rutledge, I'll be there soon, buddy. Might be around 1 a.m. though. Local time 10:20. When we come back, the one more time battle between the frenemies. Are they friends? Are they enemies? A little bit of both. They're frenemies. Odie Bakshis, Matt Field. The finals continue here at round one of the Formula Drift Pro Championship. And we are back, baby. Can you feel the heat wave? Yeah, the sun is set, but you can feel the heat coming off that car. These two drivers, both of them just had some flubs talking with their spotters, Chow and Amy, and it's like, what's up? And I don't know. They just didn't have it. Field kind of fell on his face there in that chase run, and not the way you want to get it done. So let's see a clean, fair fight, fellas. Let's see what we got, you frenemies.
looks like somebody. Are they on the phone? What's going on here?
I don't know. Call me maybe.
There's no major activity going on with Field. Does it look like he's changed his tires?
Is that
It was his headset that was reflecting. That's what I looked like.
Ripper just checking the lugs.
No, they are pulling them off, so they haven't changed the tires yet. Obviously, this is the finals. We'll give them opportunity to breathe here. You know, they may have had to. What may have happened here is they ran out of the tire allocation, and they may have had to go get tires from somewhere else. That is not uncommon because of the way that tire allocations work.
Okay, what's going on here?
So we're seeing. Oh, so yeah, there they are. They went and got.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we got to get more.
Yeah.
Check these out.
Okay. Well, I'm seeing some on the truck there. Are those used? They might be used, huh? So yeah, strapping on some freshies, getting some new Falcon meat hooks. Ryan, just a little calm right now. Just chilling, just hanging. You know. As soon as they drop that thing down, though, it's go time. So fresh and so lean.
Yep.
Brand new wheel sponsor for Matt Field, Forge Star. So on Air Raid, you can see all the sponsors there. RTS, Texas Speed. Met the Texas Speed dudes at Cletus McFarland at the Freedom 500. The Texas Speed dudes were out there. Good cats. Ryan, it's funny because I listened to the Maximum Driftcast. My money was kind of on Odie. I said Chelsea. I think Odie's is hungry. Matt's always kind of I don't want to say a dark horse, but he's just always this kind of like, hey, like pops up out of the corner like, hey, what's going on, guys? Like that. I feel like that's kind of his style. And I don't want to say he comes out of nowhere, but on the Maximum Driftcast podcast, they didn't talk about him until like the last 10 minutes. They're like, oh yeah, we didn't talk about like Matt Field at all, and here he is in the finals.
Yeah.
So I think that's interesting. All right, we got all this teal and blue, but let's talk to another teal and blue driver. Laurette Nichols with JTP.
Well, JTP is up here in the hot pits, and there is so much craziness and chaos going on. Can you attribute that to the first round butterflies?
I don't even know. Like, it was just like, it's wild, you know, a couple of Falcon cars like smashing into each other. We were down there with Odie, like helping his team put that car back together. I don't know really what happened with Matt with like the whole tire situation, but yeah, I think it's just like we're all trying to get back in the swing of things. We haven't really, I mean, last year was just weird. And like, this is the first time in a year and a half that it feels like somewhat normal. So it's good, but on the other hand, like you said, it's probably like the butterflies, like everybody's so excited, they don't really know what to do. And I don't know, man, it's wild, but it's just good to be back here.
Now, how do you guys all, and I know I'm asking you to speak for the entire field, but how do you reset and get ready for Orlando so none of this chaos happens?
You know, I'm just so, like, our weekend started out a little crazy. I got hit, like, bent a knuckle. By mistake, we didn't have a spare, so we were able to run to a local shop. I used a press to press the knuckle, like, straight again, and then we ran into a throw-out bearing issue in qualifying, so we had to drop the transmission out. I had to rebuild the throw-out bearing, get it ready for today, and then everything kind of worked out. We had some like good battles and just getting things back together. But honestly, I'm just glad I get to drive the car into the trailer. It's all in one piece. Everything's working really good now and not like it did beginning of this weekend. Some of these guys, they got a lot of work to do.
Well, Justin, I sure appreciate your time. Thank you so much. Jared.
Thank you so much. And yeah, I like JTP's stance. I like that. He's like, my car's clean. It's good. Some dudes, they got some work to do, and that's a short 2 weeks. So there it is, the one more time. Odie Bakshis, Matt Field. Larry, did you get the shot? I mean, these fans are going nuts. Hey, Atlanta, who's still out there? I can't hear you. Whoa. Listen to that. I can barely see him. Show yourself. Let me see your lights again. Show yourself out there. I can't see. I see 1, 2 billion stars of light. Look at this. Okay, I see a couple royal purple banger sticks out there. See some lights, see some strobes. Yeah, looks good. Okay, yeah, right on. Thank you guys and gals for sticking around, hardcore fans. So are we all going to the Waffle House after this or what? All-Star Special, scattered, capped, covered, right? Scattered. So my move is, so it's scattered. So smothered is cheese, right? Covered, cubed, chunked, and then capped. I like the shrooms. Here we go. That is Matt Field and Odie Boxy. Nice job there by Matt Field on initiation, going to that first outside zone. Into the second outside zone. Both these guys are dialed. Rip Rourke ready to go into the keyhole. Around that front clip, out of the keyhole, both these drivers go. Now down into that touch and go, and that final clip. Looks like we got a full pull here, Ryan. Look at that. Oh, just as I say that. Odie Boxy overshoots, 2 tires off.
I think it was past the finish line.
It was past the finish line. I was over here busy talking about the Dub House, the old Waffle House, man.
Wow. All right. Well, Matt Field looks like he's back in charge here. Nice initiation. You can see e-brake pull, but he's back on throttle just right at that inside clip. Odie was making the right adjustments, but he went a little bit long as he was making the approach to the first inside clip. Now Matt Field gets into that zone. Odie keeping the pressure on, using the grip of that S15 to charge back at Matt Field. Good transition through the smoke line. Here comes Odie. Look at that, right in the pocket there. Battle on hands here going into the night as we try to finish up Road Atlanta. And that was right at the finish line.
That was Sketchball 5000.
Hey-o.
Sketchy Odie. All right. Are we going to get a winner? What do you think, Insta Steve? Insta Big Steve, what do you think? Are we going to get a winner? Either way, it's a Falcon Tire win, baby. Teal and blue, 1 and 2. That's how we do. You could use that in the ad, okay? Teal and blue, 1 and 2. That's how we do. Trademark. There we go. It's all you. Thank you. I'll send you my Venmo. All right. Speaking of Venmo, talking about getting paid, let's send it Atlanta for potentially the last time here of the evening. Odie Boxy's out front. Matt Field sweating them. Look at this. Around that first front clip. Oh, man. Matt Field. He is a man possessed. Odie Boxy's filling all that outside zone 1, outside zone 2. Field taking a shallower line. But look at Matt Field. Oh man, he took a shallower line. He had a correction, exiting out of the keyhole. And then back up the hill. Woo! Matt looked like 2020 Matt Field there. He looked like a Tasmanian devil, little blah 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 blah. Like he was going for it when he came out of the keyhole. He did have that correction, and then I saw the judges kind of like, facing hands.
Well, they started even at the beginning of this battle, and now one driver is going to win here tonight. After a crazy one more time, we find ourselves here with Odie going deep into outside zone 2. Matt Field sticking to him on the door, transitioning back around. There's that flub that he makes on the transition, leaving the keyhole. Odie's trying to stretch out his lead and gapping Matt Field towards the end. There it is again. You can see he got a little unstuck as he was just in the wrong position on the track. Odie firing through that last inside clip. And ladies and gentlemen, it is a battle here on our hands. Here's the FPV coming down. Excessive speeds, mid-90s sometimes from these guys, flying into that first corner. And you can see right there, Field comes off that first outside zone a little bit early, doesn't follow Odie all the way out to the second, but he's keeping the proximity there. And here, this is where he makes that mistake. Look at the front wheels. That was quite a bit of time to be straight with those front wheels when you're drifting. And we saw a pretty solid shot of it there from the FPV drone, which is not the kind of evidence you want if you're looking to take the win here. If we have a winner, we'll bring them down. If you see the scorecard go up, you know what that means. You ready to do your thing? This will be the first time.
What's my thing?
Hey, in third place, this guy. Hey.
Oh yeah. Oh, why do you downplay? Dude, obviously you don't like it, Ryan. You ready to do your thing, Ryan? You ready to hate Ryan? Oh man. Whew. All right. I am ready to do my thing. I'm ready to do my thing. I'm excited. Hey, Atlanta, did you guys have fun tonight? Make some noise. Oh, come on. Come on. Atlanta, on 3, yell send it for me, okay? Because we didn't do that because I got a little overzealous talking about Waffle House. A little hungry over here. So on 3, I need you to yell send it as loud as possible, okay? 1, 2, 3. Yo, thank you guys. Thank you, Atlanta, so much for coming out here and joining us, sticking around, hard charging, hard partying. Here's our BC Racing custom coilover side-by-side instant replay, Ryan.
Well, what do you guys at home think? Is it Odie Bakshis or Matt Field? We find ourselves here after a really crazy one more time battle where it looked like Matt Field had it in the bag. Obviously, the car was not fully functional. He got it incomplete in his chase. The judges had no choice but to go one more time, and so we do it again. Odie, sans quite a few parts on the vehicle, still looks like he is on point and charging, and it looks like we do have a result, so we are going to bring the drivers down. We know who third place is.
All right, so we do have a winner, as Ryan just stated. We'll bring him over there. We'll bring him right here in the horseshoe. We know third place, but who gets the win here in Atlanta?
Oh man, what a weekend, what a week.
Yo, so awesome to just think about, you know, what we've all endured, you know, as far as the home life, as far as, you know, the vehicles and watching everything from a distance. It's great to be next to you.
It's so awesome.
It's great. It's absolutely insane.
A smidget of normality and everything that's crazy is going on. I love it.
Yeah, it's great. I'm looking forward to Orlando. I've done a couple events out there in Florida with Cletus McFarland. Shout out to Hell Yeah Brother. Yeah, I got it. Yeah. As Florida will be awesome. Orlando Speed World in just a couple weeks. If you're here in the building, join us at the podium. But join us, again, Scorched. Here are our three drivers. And one will be crowned the winner of Atlanta. We talked about, you know, and there it is, some celebratory donuts. Well, here we go, those three vehicles coming up to the infamous horseshoe. And there he is, your defending champion, Vaughn Gittin Jr. Got that third place podium. Your defending and two-time champion, stepping outside of his vehicle, a great place to be, given just the fierce competition, an awesome display of horsepower. Make some noise for your third place finisher here, round one of the Formula Drift Pro Championship, Royal Purple Road to the Championship, presented by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Third place, Vaughn Gittin Jr. All right, and now your winner here at round one, where it all began in 2004, celebrating 18 years of Formula Drift after 700 plus days of not being back here at this iconic track. It feels good, Atlanta. Make some noise for all our drivers. It's a win-win for everybody, but it's a win 1 and 2 for the teal and blue. That's how we do. Your winner here at Road Atlanta, pilots a Falcon Tire vehicle, has a V8 under the hood, is one of two frenemies, and the winner is unanimous, Odie Bakshis. Odie Bakshis gets the win, and Matt Field gets second place. A Falcon Tire 1 and 2, Odie Bakshis in the Falcon Tires Field Suspension S15 gets the win. Matt Field, your number one qualifier, comes up just a bit short, gets second place in that Falcon Tires Drift Cave Corvette. Vaughn Gittin Jr. rounds out the podium with that Monster Energy Nitto Tire Ford Performance Mustang RTR Spec 5D. Lorette Nickel is down there. She is going to wrap out with Odie Bakshis. Lorette?
Odie, congratulations. Your first win of 2021. Amazing. Round number 1. Man, when you were lining up on that hill with Matt Field, what was going through your mind?
You know, I was honestly, I'd say I was too excited. We run together all the time in much more tamer cars, not full-blown, pro cars. And I think we just got comfortable. I got comfortable running in demo cars. And when I chased him, I went hard. I wanted to go hard for all of you guys, put on a good show. I typically love chasing. And when I get to chase a straight-up driver like Matt, I go all in. And yeah, I believe I overcooked it quite a bit. I just laid down as good of a run on the, other battle. Honestly, I don't know. I'm gonna think to myself that I pushed Matt's car pretty hard to the point where he had trouble making the second run. So it's kind of a bittersweet. Matt was killing it, and it was a really, really fun event. I really just wish that we didn't have to bump into each other. I wish that I didn't have to run into him and run cleaner, but the car's backed up overall. Thank you so much for my team for keeping that thing going. We got hit over and over again, and I can't believe it's still running. It might not actually run very well after this. We're going to have to put in a lot of work, but hats off to Formula Drift for putting on a great event, and thank you for letting us play out here.
Odie Bakchis, congratulations. Round number 1 win. Jared.
Yeah, thank you, Lorette. Thank you so much.